What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 5SW Chapter 106, Six Paths Brothers Siege Lan Yu, the ultimate prestige Susanoo. Advertisement, Chichichichi. The Pure Land is worthy of being a place full of souls. Lan Yu just released the big holy bow. The souls in the entire Pure Land were cheering, as if ushered in a master. Converging quickly toward the sky. Not only is it stepping into the Six Paths level, but also because of the richness of the spirit here. Lead to the 9 giant spears on the great sacred bow. The length can reach thousands of meters. As soon as it appeared, there were spatial ripples around it, which was extremely terrifying. Not good. Feeling the sacred bow full of destructive energy, Yui and Hamura's eyes converged. Six Paths Shenluo Tianzheng, Yuya immediately raised his hand. There was a terrifying repulsion that shocked Hashirama and Ban in a corner of the barrier. The moment the repulsive force broke out, it caused a large-scale spatial distortion. But Lan Yu controlled the 9 giant spears on the great sacred bow to strike like lightning. Delicious. A deafening sound rang. I saw a giant spear at the forefront directly rip the repulsive force of Shenluo Tianzheng. The 8 giant spears that followed decisively rushed into the tearing point. Tensigan Chakra Mode. When the two attacked, a dazzling golden light appeared on Hamura's body, and 9 truth-seeking balls surrounded him. At the moment when the repulsive force was torn apart, truth-seeking ball spins. August 10, rapidly. Silver Wheel Reincarnation explodes. The 9 truth-seeking balls turned, forming a hurricane connecting the heavens and the earth. Indescribable terrible hurricane. It directly caused the doomsday natural disaster in the Pure Land, and shattered everything wherever it went. Nice power. Lan Yu was not afraid at all, but exclaimed. Rinnegan and Tensigan both have the title of Eye of Destruction and Creation. But in Lan Yu's view, Tensigan is a horrible pupil born for battle and destruction. Boom. The terrible hurricane strangled with the giant spear of the holy bow, and the continuous collision of chakra and spiritual power caused a grand energy tide. Crashed together. Next moment, Lan Yu, Hamura, and Yuya all ignored the energy aftermath and collided together. Titicaca. Six Paths Class Body Art Collision. Lan Yu is very easy to do with 1 enemy and 2. If Hai Grandmaster Ninjutsu is said, then Hamura is Grandmaster Physique. After a few collisions, Yui Ninjutsu restrained. Sage Art Yin Dunlei Sect. A terrifying thunderstorm filled the surrounding space, swept past like a tsunami. Yangtong Shen Airstrike. Hamura gave a terrifying punch. It directly eclipsed the sky and the earth, and the huge vacuum fist shook the sky. Galaxy Starburst. Lan Yu's body is condensed with ultimate compressed spiritual armor covering his entire body. Punch both hands to each side. The vast force tore the atmosphere, and the shockwave burst into force. Boom. In an instant, the sky and the earth broke apart. The terrifying power burst directly, and the magnificent city built by the Six Paths brothers was instantly annihilated. Damn you. Seeing the destruction of the giant city, the Six Paths brothers suddenly became angry. When I set up the barrier before, I only thought about how to trap Lan Yu here and then besiege. Twilight forgot about the giant city. But now, the settlement they spent thousands of years to build vanished, and the souls of the descendants in it were dead. How can it? Don't make the two angry. At this moment, the disease of bone is as deep as the abyss, and the sin of blood is red until the death. Lan Yu calmly stimulated the mood of the two of them, not bad hatred, but do you only have this degree? Damn it. Hai and Hamura looked at each other. At the same time, an extremely tyrannical chakra broke out, although there was not much chakra to play in the ninja world. But in the Pure Land Millennium, the two are not for nothing. The true power of Six Paths is washed away in the Pure Land. Puff cough cough. In the corner of the barrier, 3 people jumped out, their expressions shaking. Looking over, Hashirama was speechless. Madara, did we come to the wrong place? This is not something we should endure at our age? Madara was shaking all over as if she hadn't heard it. Izuna smiled gently. Brother, you are still the same, you will get excited when you meet the strong. Ha 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 ha. Izuna still understands me, unlike Hashirama this second fool. Goodbye Izuna. After untie the happy knot, the cheerful class has been a lot, clenched his fists and said in excitement. This is the battle I want, even if, yes, you must not be able to survive a single move. Shut up, idiot. Ban kicked Hashirama hard, then he looked sharply at the other corner. 2 little mice, get out, don't play. 2 powerful young men came in an instant. When both sides look at each other, the atmosphere is a bit weird. Izuna whispered, brother, that person is Sharingan, who looks like you. There is another one, which looks silly and looks like the big idiot Hashirama. Hashirama. Indra. Ashura, brother, miss you, are you okay with the pimple there? Madara and Hashirama have to admit that Izuna is right. The two opposing people do have a sense of familiarity. One looks proud hockey, take a look around to see Seri's anger. Advertisement, this kind of momentum. After feeling it for a while, Ban hugged his arms and said indifferently. In the Pure Land, apart from the 2 old immortals, there is only the son of Sage of Six Paths. Indra, Ashura. Recalling the fate of the Senju and Uchiha clan that Lan Yu once said. It started with 2 people, and chakra continues to reincarnate, allowing fate to continue. Certainly. The antagonism between Indra and Ashura is due to the secret calculations of Black Zetsu. Last night, Hashirama also learned various secret histories from the class, and immediately pointed to Ashura. Madara, what should I call him? Thief's son, huh? What? Just call him Chopsticks. Ban's words are rather indifferent, disgusting and spurning the so-called Ashura Indra. The soul body is very good in the Pure Land, then you are okay to reincarnate chakra. Have you ever wondered how many people Uchiha and Senju have died in hundreds of years? Junior, you are looking for death. Hearing the word misfortune, the arrogant Indra suddenly became angry. His younger brother can only be beaten and scolded by him, and outsiders are not qualified to comment. Are you dancing too? You are more proud of me, and generations are more proud than generations. Uchiha Madara's arrogance reached its peak, Zetsu. In an instant, a group of thunder and lightning appeared in Indra's hand, just like 1,000 birds in later generations. Lightning-style chakra mode, thunder and lightning all over Indra's body, amplifying itself in all directions. Instantly disappeared in place. Shen Luo Tianzheng. Seeing Indra appearing in front of him and preparing to electrify herself, Madara raised her hand and crit 0. Boom. The thunder and lightning scattered, and Indra was directly blown out by the repulsive force. Big brother, Ashura exclaimed, her eyes sharpened. Hate pill. A group of energy like Rasengan appeared in Ashura's hands. The breeze blows. Ashura came to Hashirama's body. You too. So strange. Hashirama murmured, but he didn't slow down at all, and was very ruthless. Bloody outfit. Hashirama turned sideways slightly, his spiritual power wrapped his fist, exploding with great power. Boom. The blast pill smashed directly. Ashura also flew out, lying on the ground with her legs up. Worthy of being brothers, the posture of falling to the ground is the same. Hashirama scratched his head. A little bit of fighting consciousness? Ban proudly said. In their era, no one dared, and no one could confront them. How can we be worthy of comparison with the strong who crawled out of the sea of blood? Even the Indra brothers have practiced against each other since childhood, grew up to fight, and created a lot of ninjutsu. How many life and death battles have you experienced? In terms of fighting consciousness and will, brother Indra is far inferior to Zu Madara. Since you have decided to be the enemy, you must destroy the corpse. After Madara finished speaking, she rushed over. Hashirama also killed Ashura. The battle for the end of fate, 6 paths puppet reincarnation. Hamura chakra erupted, and the mountain was shaken suddenly. I saw the ground split apart, and a horrible stone statue of Hamura appeared, covering the sky and the sun. This is not a small stone statue of summoning, but a huge stone statue comparable to 10 tails. 6 paths completely Susanoo. Like a huge mountain, the 6 paths Susa, who is far larger than the class, appears again. 2 sky-high giants, overlooking the earth. Anymore? Seeing this scene, Lan Yu spoke like this. In addition to being more destructive, what use are these 2 tricks? Body shape factors make it more difficult to hit yourself. As long as we destroy everything in the enchantment and leave everything behind, that's enough. Yui said indifferently. 5.6 They're the destructive power you want. Destroy everything to eliminate Lan Yu, 6 paths way dress Susanoo. Next moment, I saw that the huge Susao of Hai fell on the stone statue of Hamura. Integrate with each other. The armors must be transformed, all over the stone statue, which looks terrifying. Wow, Madara, that guy used your trick. To shut up. Namikaze Minato. Lan Yu's eyes. Nice moves, gave me a lot of surprises. Kakashi. The eyes began to change. Ashura. I have played wood style too. I don't know if Indra's Raiden and Ashura's balls will be developed by later generations. Multiple red pupils appeared in both eyes. I saw it, your deaths. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Hei and Hamura were tight, as if there was a big horror surrounding them. Circulate a terrifying light. What do you mean? For an instant. Between Lan Yu's words, Uchiha Madara looked at the national costume Susa coldly, full of dissatisfaction. You are qualified, let me use this power. The moves we worked hard to develop are all left over from your play. Chapter 107. All-Knowing and Almighty Unlocking, 3-Step Lore, Sage of 6 Paths, Death. Advertisement. When I close my eyes, the world will be overshadowed by me. When I open my eyes, the world will be turned upside down because of me. The moment when multiple red pupils appeared in Lan Yu's eyes. All-knowing and all-powerful opening. Free all Lan Yu's power. Boom. Reiatsu swept away, so vast that even the surrounding void was unbearable. Crack. Under the unbelievable gaze of Hei and Hamura, the yin-yang space-time barrier that they worked together to develop and set up suddenly split. Next moment. Crash. How can this be? Hamura exclaimed, solemnly. That is the ultimate power of yin and yang escape, combined with the power of the blood trap. Don't talk about shattering with momentum. Don't even want to break the 6 paths attack for a month except for the goddess Uzumaki. Can be biased. The moment Lan Yu opened his eyes. There is no broken slag left. Impossible. I don't believe it. Fake, or something. Lan Yu stepped over, and came to the sky over Wizo Shizuo in no time. All are, proving that you are weak. This is. As they approached, Hei and Hamura's mind solidified. The multiple red pupils in Lan Yu's eyes seemed to come from the bank of the demon god in hell. Take a look, lose courage, looking at it again, I lost the intent to fight. One more look, and the whole body trembles. Hamura, don't look at him, attack with all your strength. Feeling his will scream, Yui burst into a loud shout. Yes, brother, Hamura and Hai moved at the same time. The huge stone 07 of Hamura covers the entire body of Suzuo, which is a terrifying power far surpassing the 9 tails of 9 tails. On the 2 chakra-long knives, there was an amazing light that made everything dying. And congealed with truth-seeking ball, form an infinitely extending horror weapon. Prestige Heaven Marsh Spear. Tear. The void in front was like thin paper, directly torn apart by force. Nothing could stop the terrifying attack that was so grand that it was indescribable and rushed towards Lan Yu. The prestigious Sky Marsh Spear passed all the way. A series of pitch-black cracks are all over the void. It makes the scalp numb. Izuna, you go in first. At first glance, Madara's pupils were also shrinking. Izuna was sent into the Lingza space without even thinking about it. I don't want to fight with you. Why not join us? Anyway, that man will definitely die. Ashura stood opposite Hashirama and spoke seriously. Hashirama looked solemn. After you say this, you will definitely die in my hands. Boom. 6 paths Prestige Suzuo's attack directly submerged Lan Yu. The power that was vast to the limit of the ninja world burst out instantly, sweeping across an unknown number of miles. Everything ahead is destroyed. Heavenly Marsh Spear. Shendao Heavenly Sword, Spear of Destruction. Indra sneered. He is dead, and I will kill you too. Ban's voice was even colder. The ant deliberately talks about the gods. You are really pitiful, ignorant, die. Boom boom boom. Before the aftermath over there was over, Madara and Indra fought together. Hashirama and Ashura are equally violent, endlessly. Brother, I can't feel his breath anymore. Me too, but you can't be careless. The 6 paths brothers did not relax at all. They know it better than anyone else. After reaching the 6 paths level, it is too difficult to kill the opponent. But when the dust is gone, impossible, Hai and Hamura exclaimed at the same time. Still that place, still that attitude. Not even a single hair was messy. Lan Yu still stood calmly in the air. Obviously, the attack has arrived. How is it possible? I can see it, but I still can't perceive it. What makes them most powerless is, Lan Yu is clearly in front of him, but he is not there. If you close your eyes, no matter how you perceive it, you won't know that Lan Yu is standing in front. It's impossible that these boring words make me feel no pleasure. Lan Yu's eyes were calm, all-knowing and all-powerful. Lan Yu, who has opened his eyes, is the strongest one. From now to the distant future, you can see through it. Know everything that Lan Yu sees through. The power known to Lan Yu will become his companion. Don't talk about defeating him. After I knew it, I couldn't even hurt Lan Yu. As the name implies, see everything, know everything, ignore everything. But, all-knowing and all-powerful, but more than that. The real horror lies in, rewrite the future, just like. You see a small grass in front of you, you pick it off at will. Because I saw you, so you did that, so the grass was picked. You intervene in the things in front of you, so the result is change. Same thing. Lan Yu can see the future. So I saw him, so he intervened, so he was change. Well, that's right, it's that simple, Hakata Hamura. It really is, old Versailles, but Lan Yu doesn't explain his power to the enemy, that's stupid. So lead. The 6 paths brothers are a little confused. Advertisement I couldn't understand why Lan Yu was unscathed. You have lost a hair. No hair hurts. Bombing. The next moment, the 6 paths brothers' complexion changed drastically. I saw their majestic bombardment Susanoo, broken. Lan Yu cannot directly change the opponent's power. But, he can intervene in the prestigious Susanoo that comes into view. Lan Yu. I just intervened at will and changed it, why are you broken, alas? Go all out. Hai and Hamura forcibly suppressed the bewildered fear in their hearts. All chakra broke out. Shanshu Dafa, the power of 6 paths. The power of yin and yang. Rinnegan's gravity, Tensagen's gravity, all have reached their limit at this moment. In an instant, the pure land trembled violently. A yin power mark appeared on Yuya's palm, and a yang power mark appeared on Hamura's palm. The palms of the two were close to each other, and they burst out together. 6 paths superplanetary devastation. Ultimate's gravity exploded outrageously. Distorted the large space in front, directly interrupting the battle between Madara and others in the distance. This trick is really good, Lan Yu also had to praise. Conventional planetary devastation requires a black ball to appear in the palm to form the core of gravity, and then to explode gravity. But the 6 paths brothers are different. It forms a source of gravity directly in space, acts on the target, and seals everything to death. Want to break? First, kill 2 people. Second, the source of gravity that is destroyed in space. Third, break free. The above 3 methods. No one in the ninja world can do any of them, or else they will look down on the 6 paths brothers. But you can learn Lan Yu. Lan Yu. Just ignore it like me. Boom. The entire Pure Land world was shaking crazily, and it was constantly collapsing in all directions. Endless huge rocks are pulled. Constantly soaring to high altitude, a huge boundless sphere is gradually forming. This, monster. How could such a thing happen? Although the 6 paths planetary devastation is huge, a wave of powerlessness appears in the hearts of the Six Paths brothers. Look. Lan Yu still stood calmly in the air. Allowing the surrounding rubble to rise did not affect him in the slightest. As if there are infinite partitions around Lan Yu, ignoring everything. This posture directly broke all the illusions of the two. It seems that you can no longer please me. Lan Yu took a step in the air and said indifferently. I said that only the victor can define all order and go to the home of the soul after the death of my name. My name Lan Yu. Take away, all of you man. Lan Yu Haki ignored everything and took another step towards Otsutsuki Hagoromo. When the third step falls, feeling an unprecedented death crisis, Yui gave up the attack and prepared to escape without thinking. It's a pity, useless. Puff. No warning. Under Hamura's horrified gaze, his eldest brother, Yui is absolutely breathtaking. A head flew into the sky 813, leave Lan Yu's indifferent words. It's like seeing you. Within 3 steps, you will die of anger. Ka. Sage of Six Paths' head fell to the ground, and the dead pupils were filled with despair and unwillingness. This is an irreparable death wound belonging to the soul. Sage of Six Paths, completely extinct. How can it be? Indra and Ashura in the distance were shocked. Madara and Hashirama were also taken aback, and then they showed indifferent eyes. You damn it too. Boom boom boom, the four fight again. Hamura stood still sluggishly, his elder brother, his sibling brother, died just plainly before his eyes. He didn't even leave a word. This makes him, how to accept it. It's your turn next, Otsutsuki Hamura. Lan Yu's indifferent voice sounded again. Pulling Hamura's thoughts back directly, he was extremely sad and resentful. I want you to die. The golden tensegan of Otsutsuki Hamura was red, and chakra vented like crazy. But Hamura did not see Lan Yu's strange gaze. That is, the last expectation. There is only one trick that can let Lan Yu watch a flourishing fireworks. Golden wheel reincarnation explodes. Otsutsuki Hamura's roar full of resentment resounded through the Pure Land. 9 pitch black truth-seeking balls spun into Hamura's hands at high speed. It instantly turned into a golden chakra lightsaber that penetrates the sky and the earth. Shine the world. The entire Pure Land is lit up. Go to hell. This is the most brilliant attack that Hamura instilled in all after the death of Hai. Time and space stopped for a moment. A strong sense of room temperature stopped the Madara 4 in the distance. When everything is recovering, the Hashirama 4 only saw an extremely dazzling golden light, which made people unable to open their eyes. As if the entire Pure Land only exists in this way, as if there is no end. Golden Chakra Lightsaber. Boom. Chapter 108. Column Madarav's Ashura Indra, strong assist by Black Zetsu. Advertisement. Chang Chang. Hamura's golden wheel reincarnation blast swept over Lan Yu fiercely. Past Lan Yu in an instant. The deafening sound of cutting resounded throughout the Pure Land, and everything in front was torn apart by this sword. Everything is split. The remaining power of the lightsaber is still tyrannical. I saw the endless box in front of me that began to accumulate since the birth of the ninja world, and it was directly subjected to the most terrifying cut in the ninja world. That piece of Minghai was cut apart like thin paper. The crack can't see the end, look at it at a glance. It seems that the entire Pure Land is penetrated. Madara's pupils shrunk to the extreme, and she couldn't help but constricted. What kind of sword is this? Madara, this is the chakra sword. Roll. Hashirama, who was flown by Madara, still couldn't close his mouth in shock. It is really this blow, too far away, it seems that nothing can withstand it. Ha, ha 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 ha. Suddenly, a burst of laughter came from Otsutsuki Hamura, a hysterical laugh. Presenting all my strength, and still not hurting you a bit. What a ridiculous and sad battle. After the golden wheel reincarnation burst, Hamura was desperate, because Lan Yu still stood calmly in the air. That posture is like a god. Lan Yu. Everything that I have seen now and in the future will be known to me and ignored. From birth, more than 1,000 years, till now. It was as if the heavens made a huge joke to Hamura. He and his brother were invincible. In the hands of a human being on an alien planet. Like a strand of ants, so far, there is no limit to Lan Yu. There is no need to worry about this, isn't our gap taken for granted? Lan Yu took a step towards Hamura. At least, you showed me the fireworks and pleased me. For this, keep your whole body. No, in the distance, Indra and Ashura's eyes were splitting. The previous father took 3 steps in Lan Yu and was very angry on the spot. The current second uncle, how to resist? But the two were stopped by Madara and couldn't get there at all, and the past was useless. Puff. Not surprisingly, the two of them. A knife stabbed into Hamura's body severely. Strongly shattered all his vitality. The golden tensegan of Hamura dimmed, and a bitter sentence came out intermittently. Please, don't kill them. Don't kill Ashura and Indra? Don't kill. How to end fate? Lan Yu is extremely indifferent. Yuya is not worthy of letting me promise, let alone you, they're dead. Having said that, Lan Yu smiled inexplicably. Don't worry, I will take care of your mother. It must be fat and white. Puff. I curse you, not to die. Otsutsuki Hamura's eyes were full of resentment, madly dead. Yin yin yin. Suddenly, the exterminating crossknife in Lan Yu's hand quacked again. Lan Yu chuckled. What? I can't hear you. Quincy does not have Zanpakuto, but Hōgyoku is Lan Yu's hang. Yin 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 yin. The cross knife moaned continuously, like a coquettish little loli, grieving with her mouth flat. You mean, absorb all the soul bodies here, let me advance again, and help you give birth to true consciousness? Lan Yu said, surprised. It's worthy of being my knife, it's cruel enough. No one knows how long the Pure Land has existed. But the soul body that Lan Yu perceives alone is no less than hundreds of millions. God knows how many years have accumulated, except for the 800 descendants, all are individually sealed in a spacebox. Little Loli proposes to devour all souls and evolve oneself. The sentence, people don't punish the earth for oneself, is vividly displayed. However, I like it, Lan Yu said with a smile. Those soul bodies have nothing to do with him. This is a dead person, it's enough to live a lifetime. Instead of staying in their small spaces one by one, let Lan Yu relieve them. Well, you can let it go for nearly 100 years, maybe some subordinates family. Just entered 6 paths, what level will it be if you advance again? Lan Yu contrasted and suddenly thought of a question. Not the level, but the time. So many souls may not be swallowed up in 1 year, 10 years, or decades. That's it, everyone swallows together and the Quincy Master has time. Lan Yu's goal has never been a small ninja, but the Otsutsuki clan is the small goal. Therefore, becoming stronger is the first goal. As for the ninja world? When you are free, just scan it and you'll be done. Buzzing. Lan Yu was sitting in the void with the exterminating cross knife, and immediately swallowed the soul energy of the 6 Paths brothers. An extremely grand vortex unfolds from Lan Yu. The breath of Lan Yu is gradually increasing. At the same time, Zu Madara, Sang Luo, has already fought to a feverish stage. Completely Susanoo, Madara and Indra at the same time displayed the complete body Suzaku. One blue, one purple, crashing, I must kill you all. Because of the deaths of his father and uncle, Indra was also completely mad, his face extremely hideous. Advertisement Indra for a long time, a huge and incomparable thunderbolt, condensed from Suzuo's hand, full of destructive energy. Playing with arrows, I'm your ancestor, Uchiha Madara stood proudly in Susan, and the spiritual power in his body broke out. Under the sun and all the phenomena turn into nothingness. Madara also directly condensed a huge large-scale sacred destruction, ready to launch. And attach the holy text to the whole world, enough to decompose everything qualitatively. 1 minute ago, what a great jade wind pill. Ashura condensed a huge Otama hate pill in his hand and joined 5 rotating balls. Suddenly used it towards Hashirama, not only that. As the one who has received Sage of 6 Paths love for Ys, he also has a powerful ability. Truth-seeking ball. Several truth-seeking balls, followed by Haifeng Wan, turned into sharp swords and rushed over. It's that kind of thing, the black ball that your majesty does not want to touch. Glancing at truth-seeking ball, Hashirama is quite cautious. And did not choose to avoid. That's right, my holy writing is also pretty powerful. Only in actual combat can the skills be used in. Hashirama stopped to release Mutong's big move, slightly looking forward to it. Then try it. Spiritual power swept through. Hashirama raised his hand and released the ability of holy writing. A wooden shield shot out. Absolutely deny. Buzz. In an instant. Under Ashura's stunned gaze, his Hayate Maru and truth-seeking ball all disappeared after touching the wooden shield. It seems that it never existed. Holy writing ability, existence negation. -1. Negative attack, eliminate. Denial 2. Deny all supernatural powers other than essential power and eliminate them. For example, superpowers, Haki, ninjutsu, bloodline, magic and other abilities that ordinary people don't have. Negation 3. Substance negation. Eliminate. Negation 4. The injury is negated and the death is negated. The above negation is divided into conceptual negation and absolute negation. Things that are negative in concept can be restored. Things that are absolutely negative cannot be restored. Limitation. It is impossible to deny things that are far beyond oneself and too powerful. Launch performance. 1. Bodily touch things, deny things. 2. Attach and attack and negate things. When Hashirama awakened himself and was received by Lan Yu was surprised. Because of this ability, it is not like Hashirama that can be awakened. Shouldn't it be an ability like life? Ban Sen Luo Wanxiang is too pervert, I can't be weaker than him. This is the explanation Lan Yu heard. It turned out to be awakened because of obsession. There is a negation. Hashirama wanted to use the concept to negate the holy text that was briefly eliminated, and beat him brutally? Madara. Hashirama, you don't talk about martial arts, I advise you to rattle your tail. Hey, this ability is really good, much more fun than. Senju Hashirama smirked, then became very solemn. Next, one trick to solve you. What a joke. Hearing a trick to solve it, even Ashura couldn't help but get angry. Under Hashirama's bewildered eyes, Ashura put her hands together and said shocking words. Would pass true several thousand hands ding Shanghua Buddha. Ground sensation. A huge wooden Senju Buddha statue suddenly appeared, stunned by the big pillar. He also smiled before and said that Madara's Suzuo was ruined by others, and he was a big city. But now, the corners of my eyes twitch. Ashura, you play me. Let's stop here. Although Ashura's wooden Buddha is a little different from his, for example, there is no wooden golem, but Hashirama didn't want to look at it. But just when Madara and Hashirama were about to kill. Ah, who is it? Damn it, Stop it, good money. At this moment, Indra and Ashura exclaimed at the same time, extremely angry. Even the prepared attack dissipated. Column Madara. We haven't shot yet, what about acting? But the two would not be stunned, since Ashura and Indra were inexplicably affected. Just FK him. Die. The all-encompassing existence and the denial of existence broke out in an instant. Indra becomes nothingness, Ashura exists to eliminate. At the same time, an extremely desolate and silent place in ninja world. Reincarnation technique. A dark guy with a jagged white fang smiled darkly. Controlling a ninja using the earth-moving reincarnation technique. Gia, Danzo is useless, let me use it. The coffin came out, it was indeed a dead body. Black Zetsu's eyes brightened. What does this prove? The two of them are strong enough, even this technique can be resisted, once you can't do it again. Reincarnation technique, nothing at all? Black Zetsu is angry. Why didn't even the coffin board appear this time? A hole. Uncle Black Zetsu has time. Today I must be on the bar with you. Chapter 109. The Empire's 10-year plan, all the elites practice in retreat. Advertisement, Why, damn Ashura, damn Indra, you two shit. Both you and your father deserve to die. The desolate land of ninja world. After 101 consecutive impure world reincarnation, Black Zetsu went crazy. Obviously, the first time soil was moved, the coffin board still appeared. This proves that the souls of Ashura and Indra are okay, but they are more resistant. After all, the two are very strong, Black Zetsu understands. But then, there is no coffin board. What a joke. Don't tell me, you were killed in the Pure Land, or beaten to death by the crap of Yuya. Black Zetsu's body expression changed again and again, and his eyes became more and more resentful. In his opinion, the two Indra will definitely not be killed in the Pure Land. So it is. Yuya, you B***********D. B****ch. Rubbish, don't I just want to summon them out to play, why stop it? Black Zetsu scolded himself, he could only think so. Except for Sage of Six Paths to block, there is no other possibility. Not good. Thinking of Sage of Six Paths may have prevented two people from coming out. Black Zetsu's body was shocked. Since it stopped, it must have been discovered. In case Yuya runs along the network cable, scared, just follow the ninjutsu's lead to find it and it will be over. No, I must get out of here. With that, Black Zetsu's heart was intertwined with despair, grief, and resentment. Where can he go? Waited for 1,000 years before one appeared. But in a blink of an eye, Lan Yu was pitted away, and by the way he became his mortal enemy. Had it not been for his wit, he would have developed a clonable entity as early as hundreds of years ago, and has been using the clone to implement plans. Then he was killed by Ban a few days ago. No, I still have a chance. Black Zetsu's body looked back. Far away at 813, you can vaguely see a bustling building. This place is within the territory of the Kingdom of Wind. But the Country of Wind has a unique country, named Lulan. Although in the territory, it exists independently of Sunagakure. In the future, it will be shattered by war. There's a very strange place underground. Chakra is extremely rich, almost infinite. This was thinking. After the goddess of Mao is resurrected, bring her here to absorb her chakra. But the plan never keeps up with the changes. I can only fight once, I will never admit my fate. Black Zetsu shouted in the desert, getting more and more energetic. FK your fate, my fate is my fate. Brush, Black Zetsu rushed to the ancient country of Lulan. There is a place there that even Lan Yu has to marvel at. Named Dragon Vein, at the same time, in the Pure Land. Madara, Hashirama worked hard to devour the soul energy of Indra and Ashura. The Pure Land is simply a paradise for Quincy. There are places with extremely high concentration of spirits everywhere. What? Unified Ninja World. How can the unified ninja world become stronger? Didn't you see that your majesty is also devouring everything crazily? For Lan Yu and others, the little ninja world is readily available. But becoming stronger is the main goal of the empire. Why defend against Otsutsuki coming? Become stronger and counterattack directly. Therefore, Lan Yu is also looking for a way to become stronger quickly. Now I found one, it is Pure Land. Second, Lan Yu also thought about it. That is to enter the Dragon Vein, it is best to find the so-called parallel world. Treat all of them as a granary. With the power of destroying the world, gather all the soul energy and strengthen the power of the empire. Anyway, in Lan Yu's eyes, in addition to being a granary, parallel world is just running to play Bobby to relieve boredom. After it's cool, you can be a granary again. Xiaodao, no, Xiao. Give you a nice name, Xiao Li? Xiao Hong? Yin. Hearing Lan Yu's words, the superficial lowly consciousness created by Hōgyoku in the crossknife was very resisted. What the hell, even a Xiaobai is better than this. With this kind of speed and level of absorption, how long will it take you to become Zanpakuto? Although Lan Yu has time, it is better to be earlier. Lol. About 12 years. What, Lan Yu suddenly, really? The Otsutsuki trio, it seems that it was a blogger who just appeared, but it has already come. The Otsutsuki clan is divided into two parts, the Guardian and the Guarded. When performing tasks normally, the Guardian and the Guardian will act as partners, except Otsutsuki or Ishiki. So Kaguya also has a partner named Otsutsuki. Advertisement. They came to the ninja world together. but being beaten to death by Kaguya led to Otsutsuki lurking for thousands of years, and there was a second 10 Tails, which became the boss of Bo-Ren Chuan. About 12 years, during the 3 wars, Lan Yu didn't care about these. Instead, I was thinking. About 12 years, the elites of the Empire are working hard in the Pure Land to devour the energy of the soul and absorb the words of the spiritual child becoming stronger. Will all members be 6? No, all members will be super shadowy? As for Pillar Madara, he can definitely reach the 6 paths level. And Lan Yu, at least surpass 6 paths. We must know that there are too many souls in the Pure Land, accumulated for countless years. The souls of nearly 100 years can be resettled, so that no subordinates' family members are in it. The older ones will not be kept. Just do it. After becoming stronger, everything is at your fingertips. Lan Yu stood up and took the spilled Ryotsu back into his body. His Majesty, Hashirama and Madara were also awakened. After seeing Lan Yu get up, the class took Izuna out of Ling's space for the first time. Brother, are you okay? Izuna was very worried, and only relaxed after watching AHFG at Madara. Madara chuckled softly. I'm just fortunate to be a son of Sage of 6 Paths. It's easy. You see that I haven't lost a single hair, so I'll ask you, is it amazing? Hashirama. Look, after having a younger brother. Just keep showing your strength and gain the adoration of your younger brother. Damn you Brokon, Izuna echoed. My brother is so amazing. Madara laughed with her arms on her hips. Ha 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 ha, it's not too powerful, just a billion points better than the idiot Hashirama. Seeing this, Lan Yu raised his brow slightly, Uchiha Madara, a lot more cheerful. Even the kind Hashirama gesture of laughing with arms akimbo blended in. The laughter was full of lightheartedness, worthy of being a representative of Brokon. As long as the younger brother is okay, everything is fine. Izuna, come to see your majesty. After the laughter was recovered, Madara remembered what was going on. He was really happy to have a younger brother with him. Although Izuna has a mild personality, she is absolutely decisive and is considered an elite to the empire. I believe your majesty will be satisfied. As Ben thought, Lan Yu was very satisfied and raised his hand slightly. Don't be polite, let Madara explain to you first, see which way of living you prefer. Izuna, although the appearance is similar to the second pillar. However, their personalities are very different, one is gentle and polite, and one doesn't make a living for a day. As the saying goes, the sky is clear, the rain has stopped, and Urzuzi feels that he is doing it again. Take Izuna and go home first. Yes, your majesty. Evening. Inside the hall, all the elites assembled. Arankar, Quincy, Shinigami, Izuna finally chose Shinigami. Nothing else, just because Izuna thinks Shinigami is playing with a knife. But Lan Yu's Zanpakuto was not turned on, and Izuna's was also difficult to turn on. This is not important, just practice for a few more years. There is the Shinigami system in Hōgyoku. Shinigami. It takes a lot of time to cut fist and go ghost. Next, I will issue an imperial development instruction. A word from Lan Yu. Everyone is solemn. Madara, Hashirama, Izuna, Nagato, Yahiko, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Sakumo, Onikao, Kakuzu, White Zetsu, Tsunade, Kushina, Mikoto, Terumi Mei, Konan, 16 Admiral. Lan Yu said, first, I will retreat for about 12 years. The first sentence stunned everyone, especially Zuban Nai. 3 people have a lot of emotion. 12 years, in the Sengoku era, was half of a lot of people's lives. Lan Yu continued. First, you need to learn new skills. I have already developed it, the spiritual shadow clone technique. Everyone's eyes lit up. Shadow clone is an excellent method in the ninja world. It has many advantages and is extremely convenient. The avatar of the spirit body can exist for a long time and is difficult to destroy. So, your clone will manage and develop the empire next, and the ontology will follow me to the Pure Land to practice. If something major happens, the clone will notify the ontology. If something is not fair, discuss it together. I see. Everyone couldn't help but look forward to it, and everyone went to the Pure Land to practice. How strong are they in 10 years? Third, smash the 5 Shadows tournament forcefully, stabilize the development of the empire, and wait for my exit. Lan Yu doesn't want the empire lead to waste time on the chores of the ninja world. Be stronger, stronger, stronger again. Lan Yu continued. Finally, I will place the space portal to the Pure Land behind the central building as an imperial restricted zone. You can come and go freely, and those who perform well in the sacred troops, check the entry and exit. At present, everyone will express their own opinions and suggestions on these. Lan Yu looked at everyone. Immediately afterwards, each of them talked and discussed together. Soon, the detailed training plan and the empire development plan were listed. Lan Yu was very satisfied and then chuckled lightly. Then, goodbye Zu-kun. Send your majesty, chapter 110. Conan. Listen well, the 5 Shadows tournament ends here. Advertisement, Lingza cluster. Now that it was decided to retreat in the Pure Land, and the city built by the 6 Paths brothers was ruined. Then Lan Yu will rebuild the Pure Land. To maintain the balance of the Pure Land, there cannot be too many free souls in the city. This kind of thing is not in the eyes of Lan Yu. Boom. The souls in the Pure Land continued to gather, and a magnificent giant city appeared bit by bit in the Pure Land. Take advantage of this time. Lan Yu also passed down the ghost clone, and all the elite ontology gathered here to practice. The empire is handed over to subordinates to manage. Souls within 100 years, no, to be precise, I can only distinguish souls within 182 years. Lan Yu flew back and forth over the sea of underworld composed of boxes. Separate the souls who died in 182 years and devour the rest. You can find a place to retreat in the city. Whenever you make progress, you can fight against each other to increase your experience. Seeing the excitement of all the members, Lan opened his mouth and said, "Yes, your majesty. The Pure Land is a paradise for quintessences and others to practice spiritual power system. The concentration of souls in the ninja world is far less than that of Pure Land. Lan Yu has opened a space gate before the ninja world in the Pure Land, and moved his hall to the Pure Land. In the future, the elite headquarters can also be moved over, and the ninja world can be used as the back garden of the Empire. Anyway, the Empire's elite can come and go at will." The next day, Iron Country. It is a neutral country with an independent culture, independent authority, and independent combat power. Except for Hanzo's infringement of this place before, the rest of Yuyin Village had agreed very early not to take action against this country. Although Mizukage is noisy and wants to hold the 5 Shadows contest yesterday, it is impossible for other Shadows to leave everything and run directly. One day later than expected, today is the 5 Shadows conference. The gaze of Quan Ninja Realm fell on here. Too many people were nervous, for fear that the just-stopped World War II would come again. Today's Iron Kingdom is heavily guarded, especially around the venue is full of solemn warriors. Inside the majestic hall, sitting on the stone table were 5 powerful ninjas, with a hat on the headband belonging to the shadow, and 2 of them were standing behind each other. Third Hokage, guard. Might wear, Yuri is really red. Third Mizukage, escort, turbulent wild bait man, no pair even 8. Third Kazekage, escort, Chio, Ebizo. Third Raikage, escort, soil platform, Troy. Fourth Tsuchikage, guard, hunting, riding teeth. Sorry, I invite you all to come before the end of World War II. Third Mizukage's image is elegant, but there is endless anger in his eyes. I believe that everyone has suffered from the Invisible Empire, but the Quasi-But said it is the devil Lan Yu's infringement, wantonly catching the tail beast, wanton killing, lawless. Speaking of Lan Yu, Third Mizukage couldn't help standing up, with a sonorous voice. The structure of my 5 great forbearance villages has been stable for decades, and we must not let it be slaughtered. The unstable factor of Lan Yu must be eliminated. Fourth Tsuchikage Huang too is indifferent. Secondly, Third Kazekage was silent for a moment. Visitors from Sanagakure saw Yekang of the Holy Soldiers in the Invisible Empire. What does this show? It shows that my Sanagakure genius has penetrated into the enemy. Waiting for information is the first element, so don't be anxious. I don't leave. Sarutobi Hiruzen groaned, and he thought the same way. Namikaze Minato is also in the Holy Soldiers. This is the heir of the Will of Fire he chose, the perfect undercover. Minato. Sorry, who is Sarutobi? Konoha, what a Konoha. Before Sarutobi finished speaking, Third Raikage slapped the table and stared at Sarutobi. If I remember correctly, Lan Yu is from Konoha, right? Sarutobi's expression stagnated and everyone looked over. Third Raikage snorted coldly. Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Tsunade, Hitaki, Uchiha Mikoto, Uzumaki Kushina. Even Uchiha Madara, and even First Hokage, who may have joined the Invisible Empire, belong to you Konoha. Everyone's brains were buzzing. Yes, Konoha is the cultivation base for the Invisible Empire elite? Empire. Konoha, I am optimistic about you. Third Raikage frowned. Tell me why. I now have reason to suspect that Lan Yu is one of Konoha's plans. What a joke. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also angry. Konoha is dead no less than 2,000 ninjas. Danzo is dead. Is my Konoha shinobi so worthless? I also want to ask you, didn't you send a letter to say that you can't come? Why are you here again? Moreover, Lan Yu invaded Cloud Shinobi without killing anyone. I suspect that you Cloud Shinobi have long been surrendered. Boom. Here. Third Raikage chakra went wild, and Sarutobi's chakra also came in. The dog surrendered. Are you insulting me? This kind of thing is not impossible. For a moment, the other shadows looked at each other. Before this started, it smelled like gunpowder. Everyone, calm down. The teacher of Mifune, the country of Iron Admiral Green Ape, as the host, maintained the atmosphere. Advertisement Admiral Qing Yuan said, guessing is guessing. If there is no evidence, you can't talk nonsense. It's not good for everyone. Humph. Third Raikage and Third Hokage gave a cold snort and then sat down. Third Kazecage's eyes flashed slightly. I want to know how Lan Yu lived and became stronger in Konoha, and how he was forced away by you. Fourth Tsuchikage also said in a condensed voice. I want to know, Lan Yu, the Demon King, why didn't he kill Cloud Shinobi alone? Sarutobi. No need to say, movie, go ask Lan Yu. For a while, the atmosphere is solemn. Admiral Green Ape has a headache. What the hell, is the village on land so incompatible? Third Mizukage's heart sank. With this kind of atmosphere, I really want to unite. Maybe I can fight first. Third Mizukage immediately changed the topic. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that a single ninja village or even 2 ninja villages can't compete with the Empire. You don't want to be insulted by the Empire, right? Also, what is their purpose for wanting so many tail beasts? Everyone was silent. In the presence, no village has been bullied by the Invisible Empire, knowing that the other party is very powerful. The tail beast, logically speaking, Lan Yu shouldn't be able to see the power of the tail beast. You will discuss this at the Five Shadows conference? Do you have a family? At this moment, a playful voice resounded through the entire Five Shadows conference room. 0. Look for flowers, who? In an instant, everyone in the conference room became vigilant and looked around. A bunch of idiots, here I am, above. The cold voice sounded again, in the astonishment of everyone's eyes. At the top of the meeting room, a dark shadow flashed across. A guy with a pale face appeared, grinning. Hello, introduce yourself, my name is White Zetsu, the Deputy Director of the Imperial Intelligence Department. It's you. The moment I saw White Zetsu, 3rd Mizukage felt uncomfortable. It was this B********* D who vomited blood out of anger and was extremely arrogant and presumptuous in Kirigakure. Go to hell. The guard of 3rd Mizukage, one of the ninja swordsmen, one of the 7 ninjas, is holding a blunt knife. Mienkai jumps up and slashes towards White Zetsu. Boom. The next moment, something shocking happened. I saw White Zetsu sitting on the beam with a grin, and a big hole suddenly appeared in his body when he just jumped up. Through the whole body. Puff. The wild bait man fell to the ground and died. Hiss. At this moment, even 3rd Raikage and others couldn't help but have a numb scalp. Because they didn't see any attack trajectory, there was no sign. Sarutobi Hiruzen is full of solemnity. Look at the wall, it's the Nagato, it's his attack. Everyone just looked at it. I saw that the wall also broke through a round hole, directly through the 7 people. It's on the high mountain thousands of meters away. Nagato held the sniper rifle calmly, and no partition was useful. His eyes were like thermal imaging cameras, looking directly at Ryatsu's attack. That's it. Seeing the dead man dying, White Zetsu grinned. Come on, continue to attack my head. I promise not to move. Too arrogant. Public opinion not. Especially 3rd Mizukage's eyes are red, and I can't wait to crush the White Zetsu material. Stopping Mizukage directly, Sarutobi said solemnly, what on earth is your empire going to do? White Zetsu ignored it. Stand up on the beam of the room and look down in a circle, full of mockery. No, even if I don't dare to attack, you still want to attack the empire. You don't want to laugh at me, so you can inherit my bonus, right? That won't work, you are not worthy. First, roll back to the villages. Damn it. Second, let's be buried with this country. Conan ignored the angry eyes of everyone, looked around the audience, and said coldly. Peace. Thanks for the support of the July monthly ticket off B520 QH, door. Listen, the Five Shadows conference ends here. Holy Legion, Conan. When is it exactly? Everyone was shocked and looked back. 3rd Mizukage directly broke away from Sarutobi, immediately closed the seal, ready to enlarge the move. Who can stand it? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Don't move, 3rd Mizukage. How many empires are there around? I saw a tall beautiful woman wearing a Kinsian suit. I don't know when she appeared, and she directly dropped the Lingza saber on Mizukage's neck. Seeing each other's long light blue and purple hair, everyone felt a sinking heart. 2 choices. At this time, Chapter 111. Captain of the Imperial Saint Soldier. Hitaki is 55, famous for the ninja world. Advertisement. What a presumptuous. With the 2 choices Conan gave, all the movies present felt contempt and insult. Either roll or die. At 3rd Mizukage, when you were ready to do it. 3rd Kazekage took a step back. Suddenly remembered, Sanagakure still has important matters to deal with. Goodbye. No need to send it. Under the stunned Mizukage and others, 3rd Kazekage spoke naturally, then turned around and took Chio and Ebizo and left. Huang too was angry. 3rd Kazekage, you guys. Huh? What did you just say? Your daimyo came to Konoha? At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly looked at Yuri Zhenhong. Yuri's red eyelids twitched, and he coughed lightly. Yes, Master Hokage. Sarutobi sighed and looked at everyone with a pity. Sorry, Konoha has suffered a lot of casualties recently. I have to meet the daimyo, otherwise the funding problem will be difficult to solve. Let's go. Seeing Sarutobi leaving with Dai Hujunhung, everyone couldn't help but spurned. Go if you want, what B** shiz funding, let's go. After his expression condensed slightly, 3rd Raikage turned and left. Sarutobi and 3rd Kazekage left because the undercover agents in the 2 villages were already in charge. August 17th, absolutely didn't want to go to war before the information came back. 3rd Raikage didn't want to die meaninglessly in the Iron Country before the alliance was established. The day Lan Yu descended on Cloud Shinobi, let all the pride of Raikage shatter. Mainly, 3rd Raikage perceives that there are still many powerful enemies outside the conference room. And you? Conan retracted the sword and looked at 3rd Mizukage very coldly. Damn it, 3rd Mizukage snarled unwillingly. A word from the other side scared you away? Are all ninja villages on land so rubbish? It's a shame to be a shadow with you? But thinking so, 3rd Mizukage was also discouraged. Only him, there's an immature 4th Tsuchikage, play a fart. Go. Watching Mizukage leave, and then at Conan, whose eyes became more and more indifferent, the lowest forehead burst into blue veins. White Zetsu grinned. Don't add so many scenes, just get out of here. The furious Lois was directly pulled away by the hunters and Wen Ya beside him. Let go of me, I will fight him to the death. Master Tsuchikage, no, we can't stop it, there is no point in dying here. The outside of the meeting room was filled with the indignation of Lois. White Zetsu ignored it. I walked to Admiral Green Ape, the country of iron, and patted him on the shoulder. Admiral Green Ape? Yes, I dare to go against our invisible empire? Admiral Green Ape wants to cry without tears. We are a neutral country and will not be hostile to any country, please understand. White Zetsu smiled and nodded. Of course I understand, next time there will be the Five Shadows Conference, do you just refuse to know? Otherwise, just wait for the country to be destroyed? Outside the meeting room, Sarutobi, Fengying, Movie and others were shocked as soon as they came out. I don't know when, the samurai from the outside world fell to the ground one after another. Not far away, there are several people in the invisible empire. Setting the table, eating hot pot and singing, I was so uncomfortable. Come and have another drink. Jiraiya raised his glass and said hello when he saw Sarutobi come out. Teacher, long time no see. Hey, this is my beef, don't grab it. Hey, whoever grabs it will get it. Yahiko eats extremely satisfying. Angry Jiraiya yelled. Come. Kakuzu caught a piece of meat, and the thief smiled and handed it to the ghost dragon. Try this, the thief is slippery. Wei Jiao sat on the table with a black face. Sorry, I don't eat shark meat. Hitaki Tsukumo calmly drank the wine and looked at the scenery. Seeing this scene, the movies were really shocked. 5 on the outside, 2 on the inside, and 1 long-range sniper. Secretly God knows how many are coming. No one is weaker than them. If they had just expressed a strong fight to the death, maybe at least half of the dead were present. The alliance has not been reached, and it makes no sense to die in a foreign country. Quickly, the shadows led people away in silence. Still eating, it's time to go. White Zetsu's head emerged from the window upstairs and called out. Good. Everyone should be in harmony, Titicaca. Admiral Green Ape, the country of iron, just walked out with his disciple Mifune. I saw a scene of consternation. Jiraiya and others dissipated like smoke, and there was no table left. Fen, clone? Mifune was dumbfounded. The intelligence has never said that the invisible empire has the ability to clone, and it is not a ninja method at all. But what's going on now? Admiral Green Ape is quite solemn. These have nothing to do with us, forget about it immediately. Is teacher. A 5-shadow conference that has attracted the attention of all ninja world. It stunned many people with such a funny ending. Advertisement. It is said that after 3rd Mizukage went back, he issued an official document scolding other movies. Words such as cowardice, fear of life and death, and a group of ugly coercion abound. 3rd Kazekage expressed dissatisfaction and immediately issued an official document to counterattack. What a small island, a national rubbish, not worthy of other countries to be tied with a big country, Mizukage is a little white face and so on. For a time, all ninja world eat melon. Mizukage's announcement also caused the anger of the Cloud Shinobi village ninja who had nowhere to vent their anger after being suppressed by Lan Yu. Cloud Shinobi declares war on Kirigakure. This is a fuse. Which Darren village is not fired, the fire that was suppressed by the invisible empire suddenly found a catharsis. Oyemu and the 2 tail beasts are dead, right, although there are not many material resources, ninjutsu such as Chentong is the top resource. Sanagakure declares war on Iwagakure. Konoha, watch the show. After all, this war is just venting fire, and it is destined to not last long. If Konoha intervenes, it will definitely cause a backlash. It's a pity, no show to watch. A month later, the Imperial Intelligence Department, White Zetsu Avatar spoke like this. Since the 5 Shadows Conference, the Shinobi world has been in turmoil for more than a month, and the waves have been calm since then. At the end of World War II, it also ceased completely. The Empire has also entered a stage of rapid development, and the prosperity of the real-world city has increased dramatically every day. All elite entities entered the pure land cultivation, leaving a clone to manage. At the same time, because of the patriarch, Hitaki. Although it is a small family, it is always necessary to leave blood and inheritance 0. The main body temporarily exits. He married the childhood sweetheart Hitaki Orange in a low-key manner, but still alarmed all the elites of the empire. After all, Hitaki Tsukumo is a member of the Holy Legion, and all entities appear as gifts for him. Lan Yu also sent Avatar to participate, 1 year later. Citizens of the empire, Hitaki Kakashi is born. Humans and quintessences combine to become mixed blood quintessences. 5 years later, the Empire holds elite selections, as long as the citizens of the Empire can participate. The top 3 can enter the Holy Legion, the Holy Soldiers all sign up. Finally, adult Namikaze Minato and Senju Nawaki won the top 3 in one fell swoop. Yi Kang, the 2 missed opportunities by Wooden Golem. The top 3 get Lan Yu's Lil Spirit Orb containing his blood. In one fell swoop, he became the pinnacle of cage-level pureblood quintessence. Leave the clone and enter the pure land cultivation. 12 years in total. The name of the invisible empire is enduring and more resounding. Devil Lan Yu, achieve epic legend. Hitaki Kakashi, a soldier of the Holy Army, became the reserve of the captain of the Holy Army at the age of 11. The captain, the squadron, and the squadron commanded 10, 100, and 1,000 sane soldiers, respectively. Regular combat power. Elite Jonin, at the same time, take over the advanced task of the captain. Search for at least 3 special talents or geniuses from various countries. Yuyin Village. Cthulhu is emerging. Hitaki Kakashi encounters a madman silver-haired child and snatches it away. Iwagakure. Kakashi, who sneaked in, ran into the little boy. But this harmless-looking blonde boy of about 4 years old threw a homemade bomb at him and ran away. Kakashi beat him up and snatched it away, fight against 4th Tsuchikage and retreat all over. Kirigakure. Kakashi, who sneaked in, was amazed by dead Bone Pulse, but the whole family was grumpy. Then, I found a 2-year-old child who lost his parents and snatched it away. Fight against the patriarch of the Yoruichi clan and retreat. A certain village. Kakashi encounters a child who is born to absorb natural energy and can understand animal language. Snatch it. 5.6 Sanagakure, after Kakashi sneaked in. After turning a half circle, I didn't see a genius, leaving a few words. The captain of the Imperial Sacred Troops, Hitaki Kakashi, has a visit to the village. Shock the 1,000 generations, fight with them, and retreat all over. Cloud Shinobi Village. Kakashi sneaked in and was found on the spot. Play against Killer Bee and Tai, 4th generation Ice Strikes, retreats with 1 enemy and 2. Konoha Village. Kakashi sneaked in and was spotted by Might Dai. When the two sides were fighting, Kakashi was injured accidentally and left a cruel word before leaving. Might wear it? I remember you, don't let me run into your son, or you will fight to death. It. The captain of the invisible Imperial Sacred Troops, Hitaki Kakashi, at the age of 11. Debut with C-Bit at the same age, because of the amazing record that can be accidentally tied with any opponent. Known by countless people, Hitaki is 50-50, and it is also the spread of Hitaki's 5th name, and all countries have discovered that. The Invisible Empire started to rob people everywhere again. For a time, the major ninja villages are on guard. Undercurrent surging. Chapter 112. Makoto beats Uchiha Itachi and fights for the rise of the empire. Advertisement, this is the one you brought back? Namikaze Minato appeared as a clone, looking strangely at the children behind Hitaki Kakashi. What's the situation? The advanced task of the captain of the Sacred Army, go to various countries to find more than 3 people or geniuses with special talents of the new generation. But why are all Kakashi looking for children? Is this an imperial tradition? Yes, Master Minato, 11-year-old Hitaki Kakashi said sternly, although the 4 of them are weak and pitiful, but... Hey, who are you weak? Before Kakashi finished speaking, the 4-year-old blonde kid said rather uncomfortably. Pointing to Kakashi and said, did you forget how I was bombed in Iwagakure? Art is explosion, Kakashi. What a ghost of art, the kid who just learned chakra. I don't know what kind of earthen bombs are made, and they are only equipped with candles. The silver-haired child searched and said angrily, damn it guy, if it weren't for you, I would have joined the Cthulhu. The blonde kid curled his lips. Cthulhu? It's rubbish at first sight, The silver-haired child was angry. What did you say? You want to die? Come here, please kill me, otherwise I will blow you up, Seeing this scene, and seeing Minato with weird eyes, Kakashi couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. These 2 little kids. So young, so dragging, growing up can't be arrogant. The right villain template. Shut up. Kakashi's small face was sharp, and the blonde boy and silver-haired boy's heads suddenly shrank. The invisible empires are all monsters, which have been spread a long time ago. 07 They know it firsthand. I was beaten many times by Kakashi on the road. These 2 are. Once again, the other 2, Namikaze Minato could not help but hold their foreheads. A 1 or 2-year-old kid who seemed to have just run away was expressionless. The other, older child, looks very sturdy, although his eyes were calm, Minato could perceive the irritability in his heart. Deidara, Hidan, Kimimaro, Shigogo. Kakashi pointed to the 4 children separately, and then looked at Minato nervously. Minato thought for a while and said, let's not mention them, at least you have played the spirit of a holy soldier in the ninja world. From today on, you are one of the captains of the holy soldier. Thanks, Master Minato. Hitaki Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief. When he went abroad for the first time, he could only travel around the country aimlessly, and his old mind was stubborn. It's better to find some children. Kakashi was unwilling to snatch someone from Konoha. Have the opportunity. Must grab some back from Konoha. After all, Master White Zetsu said, if you do the right thing with Konoha, you will be done. Thinking of something, Minato coughed lightly. Hey, you're a good title. Yes, is it? Kakashi squeezed his hands suddenly. Which B********** D gave him the title, Hitaki 50-50. Sounds good. But in fact, none of them won. If this is known to your majesty, how would you treat yourself? Lan Yu. Pull this guy out and kill it. Your majesty has heard that you will leave the customs in about 2 years. During this time, you have to work hard to become stronger. Namikaze Minato is still very optimistic about Kakashi, and his performance is even better than before. As long as there is no major blow, it will cause depression and so on. Then with his talent, it is very possible to enter the Holy Legion. 2 years later, Kakashi was a little stunned. Isn't it this year? Why is it 2 more years? It was about 12 years, and 14 years was almost the same. Namikaze Minato spoke, looking at the extremely prosperous real-world city outside the window. Your Shinsheng is still somewhat lacking, so you should exercise more tempering to fight for the rise of the empire. After your majesty leaves the customs, he will sweep everything and he cannot keep his hands. Hearing this, Kakashi looked serious and full of murder. Everything is for the empire. Those who block me die. Sweep everything? The 4 Deidara are stunned. Some people will be forgotten with the passage of time, but some people will always be forgotten because of the passage of time. And even more unforgettable, some people say that Lan Yu is a god descended from the sky, bringing prosperity to the original rain country. Some people say that Lan Yu is an evil demon, bringing disaster and chaos to the world. In short, 5 words, Lan Yu is invincible. 2 years later. Since World War II, the ninja world has been stable for more than 10 years. On the original track, because the disappearance of Third Kage became the fuse of the wars of various countries fighting factions, triggering the Third Ninja War. But now the Invisible Empire is overpowering the ninja realm. Even if there are various martial arts factions who are ambitious, they dare not cause big disputes in the ninja world. Leading to today, the Third Ninja World War has not yet begun. At the same time, the clones of many imperial elites dissipated. The body came out of the Pure Land. I'm finally out. The red-haired beautiful girl who used to look like 18 or 9 years old is very touching. Even in the past 10 years, she is still young and beautiful. Uzumaki Kushina looked forward with his arms akimbo. I don't know if ninja will remember me. The Queen of Critical Strike is back in the arena. Jonghu, is it another weird word heard from your majesty? Terumi Mei stretched to the side, drawing an eye-catching curve. Conan chuckled. You only made a few shots, maybe you've long been forgotten. Advertisement Tsunade shrugged and said, yes, I can't tell which little ninja who rushed towards you to fight. What? How can this be? Kushina's eyes widened and she seemed to see this scene. Bear kids in some villages yelled when they saw themselves, thinking they were weak. What the hell? She shouldn't pretend to slap her face. What she wants is to worship everyone as soon as she appears. I feel it. Yifang's Makoto opened his eyes, a bright scarlet flashed, and looked at the corner of the real-world city. This special yin attribute of chakra, Uchiha, everyone was stunned. Uchiha, no, or did Konoha send someone to deliver the undercover again? Everyone is used to this kind of thing, such as Namikaze Minato, Yi Kang, etc., are all outstanding undercover agents. Because he was disappointed with Konoha, Minato admitted it on the same day. Yi Kang was also completely powerless a few years ago and admitted his identity. Over the years, Ninja Village has been sending undercover agents in countless countries, and many of them with good talents have indeed entered the Saint Soldiers. But, kneel all, undercover, my god, the Empire has attacked the Pure Land, isn't Ninja World waiting to die? Tsunade was surprised. No, Uchiha's characteristics are too obvious to be an undercover agent. Terumi Mei smiled, perhaps it is a child who hasn't opened his eyes. Even if it is opened, the Empire will not lose money. Maybe Konoha thinks that way. Makoto nodded. This kid really didn't open his eyes. It seems that 2 years ago, Hitaki Kakashi snatched a few children who were 4 or 5 years old, or even 2 or 3 years old. Makoto pointed to one side. So, the undercover agents in the past 2 years have become younger and younger. Hearing this, Kushina's eyes lit up. Sharingan is amazing. The more intense the emotions, the quicker the eyes will be opened, not as good as ours. Let him experience the severe beating of society? Maybe, if you hit and beat, you will open Mangekyo. Tsunade, Conan, and Terumi Mei twitched their eyes. It's you, Kushina, really good at playing. Unexpectedly, Makoto smiled and nodded. Okay, I also want to see how other people open their eyes. Lan Yu. Who broke my Makoto? Stand up for me and promise not to kill you. Real World City. A little boy with short black hair and ordinary clothes, who looked about 5 years old, was walking down the street. Here, is it, the Invisible Empire? It's too busy, what's that? Videos are shown on big screens across the streets of the Empire, and trains pass by in the distance. The little boy was amazed by everything in the city, and his eyes were confused that he didn't meet his age. When he was 4 years old, although the 3 wars did not break out, he was taken to a small battlefield by his father to watch the battle. For the first time, he felt the cruelty of the war. So I hate war very much. In order to better understand the world, he constantly yearns for power and knowledge. Until I heard my father's occasional conversation. We want to send a friend of his like his brother to the Empire as an undercover agent. That friend is only 3 or 4 years older than him. Hearing the Empire, he took the initiative to ask Ying to replace the other party, what was unexpected. His father agreed. Although 817 was very unexpected, he came here under the protection of a Jonin. Not in the name of defecting, but the reason for his age is too bad. Instead, it directly expresses Uchiha's identity, shows his longing for the Empire, and enters the Sacred Army. Based on the understanding of the Empire's behavior of various countries over the years, the Empire does not care about undercover. Only care about your talents, then, go straight. And he is also the one who is best at thinking among his peers around 5 years old. The main thing, it's his father, and he has some expectations for the legendary Uchiha Madara. In case they look at each other right, wouldn't his son fly to the sky? As for being killed by the Empire, his father hadn't thought about it, the Empire would not kill a child, right? Brush. The next moment, the little boy's eyes flickered. The surrounding scenes changed instantly, from the bustling street to the white space. Not good. How about people? The ninja who followed the protection along the way was shocked, and disappeared in an instant. In the spirit space, the little boy is confused. Kushina's eyes twitched. It's so small, what if you were killed? Makoto didn't care. I am very good with my own power, masters. If you die, you will die. Kushina is full of expectations. That's right, just throw it to the Pure Land when you die. Lan Yu. These two girls are really not taught by me. By the way, what is your name? Only then did the little boy come back to his senses. What are these two big sisters doing? Itachi, my name is Uchiha. Forget it, it doesn't matter what the name is, Makoto, let's get started. Under Rong's dull gaze, the big sister Heichongzi in front of her came to himself in an instant, kicked over, wow. When Rong fell and flew out, his expression was painful and awkward. Who am I? Where am I? Why are you hitting me? I'm still a kid. Titicaca. Chapter 113. Hashirama and Madara watch a movie. The City of Dreams shocks the world of ninja. Advertisement. I do not know how long it has been. 1 minute, or 10 minutes. Uchiha Itachi was severely injured by Uchiha Makoto, and his whole body was swollen. Every kick of Makoto is unbearable at this age. No death, or even no star death. This surprised the two women. It's disappointing, this kid is so talented. Sister Kushina said so. Isn't it that if Uchiha's people are too emotional, it will trigger Sharingan's promotion? But for a long time, don't talk about promotion. The child didn't even open his eyes. Itachi, you still know that I am a child. At the age of 5, he never knew what Kushina called social beating. But he felt the darkness of the world. Two big beauties actually beat him to death on this child? Are invisible empires all demons? Seeing this, Makoto also stopped his hand and made a thinking expression. Suffering huge negative emotions will enable Sharingan to advance quickly, this is what your majesty said. Looking back at what Lan Yu had said, Makoto felt that he was doing nothing wrong. She is not very clear about the specific eye-opening and the like, after all, she advances through her own spiritual power. Is it not enough to be violent? Then, there is only one possibility, this child is too talented. Thinking of this, Makoto didn't bother to do it again. Lan Yu. So do you understand this way? Very good and powerful. Well, Wanshin, deep. Uchiha Itachi curled up on the ground, tears streaming down uncontrollably. His face was green and red, and a few teeth fell out, and the voice came intermittently from between the teeth. What did you do wrong? After understanding Itachi, Kushina thought for a while and said seriously. I want to see how Uchiha opens his eyes, is this reason enough? But you are too trash. Uchiha Itachi. This kind of reason, Itachi is convinced. Worthy of being a man of an invisible empire, he has no scruples and does whatever he wants. Suddenly, Makoto suddenly realized, I remember, Uchiha has no one under 5 with eyes open, maybe he is too young. Kushina was surprised. Yeah, he is still a kid, and he was the wrong person. Forget it, sooner or later, if you are going to experience social beatings, you should experience it in advance. Uchiha Itachi. Father, I was wrong, I was really wrong, I shouldn't be here from the beginning, if I don't come here, I won't meet them, if I don't meet them, I won't be beaten, and I won't be all over it as the wound that is dying, if I am not covered with wounds and dying, I must escape from here, escape this magic cave. The body was severely injured and the two women's language was greatly stimulated, which caused a huge blow to the touched mind. A peculiar chakra flows into the eyes, under the astonishment of the two women. In the swollen, invisible crevices of Itachi, a touch of scarlet bloomed. Open your eyes. Uzumaki Kushina expressed surprise, and then smiled and said, let me just say, children don't understand love, hatred, and hatred, what excitement can be better than beating? If it's not enough, then do it again. With another squirt of blood, Uchiha Itachi looked weakly at the blood all over the floor. The whole person passed out. You are the devil, this is hell. Evening. Except Lan Yu and Izuna, the bodies of Hashirama and Madara have also walked out of the Pure Land. Wow, Madara, you see, real-world city is too. As Hashirama said, he suddenly found himself out of words. Madara glanced at it and forgot to care about Hashirama's name. The two stood on a high place, overlooking the true world city. Except for the center building, many buildings have undergone major changes in the past 10 years and conform to the development of the times. Under the leadership of the Avatar Orochimaru, Dean of the Imperial Academy of Sciences. Collect all scientific and technological data, scientific research equipment, and scientific talents in all countries and villages. Unified integration of a new technology route similar to the modern technology described by Lan Yu, but slightly different. More than 10 years of development. The real-world city is called the City of Dreams by the outside world. I can't believe it, but it has changed so much in more than 10 years. Zubin was deeply moved. They glanced at it. With tall buildings, busy traffic, feasting, Madara is away from the bustling city. One by one big screens stood upstairs, showing advertisements or movie scenes that both of them were surprised by. Farther away, advertisement a long train stopped. A person walked out with a smile of expectation or excitement and came towards the city. Some people are exclaiming and shocked when they come here for the first time. In this era, True World City is undoubtedly not a miracle in the flourishing age. Soon, Madara discovered an unexpected and reasonable problem. That is, the real world city is saturated. More than 10 years ago, the giant city now covers the whole country hereditary, but basically there's only one household in dozens of rooms. But look now. Everywhere is brightly lit, bustling. I don't know how many times the resident population and the migrant population have doubled. The prices are all in. Kakuzu. Is there something like real estate? Wait for me, come right away. It is also at this time, Namikaze Minato flashed over and chuckled. Senior Ban, Senior Hashirama, there's a new movie that has started, go and see it. What movie? Although Madara's body has been cultivating, she received all the information about the clone last year. There is no sense of isolation from the changes of the times, but can't help but sigh. Namikaze Minato coughed slightly. The body of the two seniors, Jiraiya and White Zetsu, came out half a year ago. The two made a movie and it was released today. Are they two making movies? One is humble, one color number. Madara thought of it in an instant, it might be some kind of indescribable little movie. So courageous, it was released. Can't put it away, find a room for everyone to watch together, cough cough cough. Madara couldn't help asking, what is the name of the movie? Namikaze Minato coughed more severely, and it took a long time before she said her name. Sengoku last year. To the Love We Will Die, wow, that name. Hashirama stretched out his hand very sincerely. Thank you, please give me 2 movie tickets. Madara raised her eyebrows. Where is Izuna? Hashirama coughed lightly. Didn't he take back the clone and prepare to advance with all his strength? Let's take a look first. Well, let's go take a look. Madara spoke like this. Sengoku last year. It's nostalgic. At the same time. Holy Army. The person chosen by oneself must finish teaching while kneeling. Hitaki Kakashi is extremely responsible for the children he robbed. We must not let these children insult the name Hitaki 50-50. Available today. Another child was thrown into the brigade under his leadership. Your name. Looking at the bruised and dying black-haired child, Kakashi's eyes twitched. Who is so cruel, not even a child? Hidan, Deidara, you beat us harder. Touch. Clear, melt. Uchiha Itachi can cause pain all over his body every time he says a word, but he can't say it all. The kid Deidara didn't know where it came from, and laughed loudly. Where does this pighead come from? Noisy, check. Help. Hidan came over too, disdainfully said. Throw out such an ugly guy, lest you lose the face of the 3rd squadron of our holy soldiers. Melt. Kimimaro trod over, Shigego followed in silence, very quiet. Seeing this, Kakashi frowned. Who asked you to come here? You have all trained. Chian Dezao Deidara raises her hand and said, I heard that Lord Ban and Lord Hashirama have left the customs and want to worship. Hidan arrogantly said, New Oda's ninja world, besides your majesty, only they can let me. Before the words fell, Kakashi kicked it over. Change your arrogant temper, even if it is a joke. Kakashi retracted his foot and couldn't help but get a headache. How old are all of them? It's not going its own way, it's arrogant, impatience, or dual personality. Only the youngest Kimimaro made Kakashi worry, calm, focused, and confident. As for the newcomer, what touch? With a pig-headed face, I can't speak clearly, and I can't figure out what it is. Kakashi's head is big, fortunately, he is about to advance again. When you have the opportunity to join the Holy Legion, you don't have to worry about the chores of the Holy Soldier. Never mind. Kakashi shook his head and looked at a few bear kids. Another recruiter, I invite you to watch a movie tonight and double your training tomorrow. For a while, the bear children cried. Oh, I wish Kakashi a long life. FK off, curse me for early death. GU, Chapter 114. Lan Yu opens time and space Zanpakuto, stepping into the ancient era. Advertisement, Hitaki is 5-5 open. Hidan, Deidara, Uchiha Itachi, Kimimaro, Shigego? A love movie made by White Zetsu and Jiraiya? Does the Zubin cry after seeing it? Interesting. In the Pure Land, Lan Yu opened his eyes and multiple red pupils flashed away. Seeing everything in the real world in my eyes, I got a general idea. More than 10 years have passed. Compared to other places, real-world city is extremely prosperous. Even from Lan Yu's eyes, he can get such an evaluation. It is not inferior to the conventional big city of Blue Star around 2010, but it has its own characteristics. This level is already pretty good. There are all empires, but it is more in line with the local customs of the ninja world. Let Lan Yu have the illusion of traveling in Blue Star. What makes Lan Yu's eyes most inexplicable is wrong. Deidara, Kakuzu, Hidan, Nagato and others they are inseparable from killing. After all, they got together. Akatsuki is just an Obito boy. Uchiha Itachi. Regarding Itachi, well, Lan Yu doesn't make any comments. Pointless. The original work is equivalent to the previous life, and the present life is just a blank paper that Lan Yu can alter. No matter what ideas he has, he will become a patriot under the influence of the Empire. All enemies will fall into his hands, all members are above the shadow. After Lan Yu felt the strength levels of all the elites, he couldn't help but feel relieved. In the past 10 years, everyone has worked hard. It can only be said that the Pure Land is really suitable for cultivation. 6 Paths Class. Hashirama, Class, the rest, if divided in detail. Quasi-6 Paths. Izuna, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kushina, Mikoto, Hitaki Tsukumo, Nagato, Konan, Terumi Mei. The pinnacle of Super Shadows. Yahiko, Ghost Zhao, Kakuzu. Mid to late Super Movie. Namikaze Minato, Sasori, Senju Niwaki. New to Super Shadow. White Zetsu, 817 White Zetsu. Don't worry, I'm not embarrassed. Of course, the grading is not that complicated, and what the mid and late stage 6 paths are all nonsense. Just describe the spiritual power level. Ryotsu and his own abilities are not counted. Quincy, Shinigami, Arankar, etc. The battle is mainly Ryotsu, and the ability is supplemented. If Ryotsu is strong enough, any bells and whistles will be useless and will be shocked to death. Why did the spiritual power of a few girls improve so fast? Is the talent so good? Lan Yu said that the yang is prosperous and the yin is declining. As a result, the danger level of Otsutsuki plummeted. Lan Yu doesn't care about the Otsutsuki trio group. Really fight, because they can only magnify the level of the move randomly. A big pillar is enough to destroy it. No fighting skills, but, after all, the Otsutsuki clan is a race, and it is a race all over the universe. If you don't fight, no one knows what to do. Perhaps killing only one person or destroying one thing can kill them all, or perhaps killing them one by one. Lan Yu, Super 6 Paths Pinnacle. If the 6 Paths level is divided into 6-star combat power. The current Lan Yu is the 7-star peak combat power, only one step away, breaking the limit again. Into the 8-star. Ryotsu is fully released, enough to instantly kill the life of a small half of the world. Your Majesty, good evening. A voice resembling Loli and Oni-san resembling coldness and gentleness, and sounding like a wash from different time and space. It was from the knife in Lan Yu's hand. Exterminate the cross knife is also a big change in form. The lines are a bit softer, from black to golden white, gorgeous and noble. Lan Yu said, good evening, Xiaobai. The blade halted, and the voice became bleak. After all, one person carried, AHFG, everything. Unfortunately, you are not human. Hey, although I am not a human being, your Majesty is true, I won. Xiaobai has nothing to say. He is obviously a super cute sweet little loli, it turned out to be such a name. Under the influence of Hōgyoku and his own efforts, Lan Yu's exterminating cross knife finally became Zanpakuto. Not to mention Shinigami Ichigo perfectly integrates the 3 systems to open Zanpakuto. Many people think that Hōgyoku is just breaking the limit? Aizen chuckles. You have to be serious when you read comics. It was only because his master wanted to break the limit, so Hōgyoku realized the ability to break the limit based on what the master thought. The true power of Hōgyoku. To realize the development of what people want in their hearts according to their own minds, but the condition is that they need to have the strength to realize this desire. Aizen's original words above, Lan Yu hopes to break the limit, then Hōgyoku will realize the ability to break the limit as Lan Yu thinks. The desired integration system, Hōgyoku, will be realized as Lan Yu wants, provided that Lan Yu is strong enough and can withstand it. Perhaps it was Lan Yu who was wearing it, cutting through an unknown amount of time and space. Or maybe Lan Yu is eager to break the dimension and conquer other time and space. In the end, the ability is finalized. Zanpakuto name, time and space. Literally, control time and space, specifically subdivide time and space. As long as Lan Yu is strong enough, there is no limit. Lan Yu in the future. Pause the entire ninja world time, space to annihilate the entire ninja world, and throw the ninja world into other time and space. Lan Yu calmly said, if I go to the future, what can I change? The future? You. Who could have changed the future? Now you can rewrite it at will. The blade whispered softly, and the voice became charming and demon, burning. Lan Yu asked again, what if it is to change the past? For a time, the blade stopped moving, and the voice fell into contemplation. Advertisement. Lan Yu is also thinking about this issue. No mention of Shinigami. There is a famous grandmother paradox on Blue Star. A person goes back and kills his grandparents at the birth of his father, but if there is no grandparents, there is no father without him. Then who killed the grandparents? Time and space refutation. Of course, there is also the theory of parallel worlds. But Lan Yu wants to say that he is not enough to change the past to produce a parallel world. Your Majesty, which era do you want to rewrite? In ancient times, the age of the goddess of Mao. Your Majesty, there is a way. What is it? The voice became gentle and soft again, which made Lan Yu cheer up. From the root of time and space, erase everything from your arrival in this world to the present, and return to the ancient times to start again. Then everything in the present is the future for you in ancient times, you can rewrite it at will. Lan Yu could not refute, it's too difficult to be feasible. However, he also thought of another possibility. Moreover, it is very likely to succeed. In some pasts, it is not necessary to make huge changes. For example, Lan went back to Yu's past and replaced a famous apple with another same apple. This kind of minimal impact will not cause problems. The name written in the history books eats an apple, but it is still an apple. After all, they are all the same apples, right? Lan Yu's eyes lit up a little. Why be obsessed with changing the past drastically? That would cause countless unpredictable consequences, even affecting the present. If the impact is too great, even Lan Yu's time and space abilities and omniscience and omnipotence cannot be eliminated together. However, it is fine to change the essence slightly without affecting the historical process. Send a clone to try. Lan Yu held a cross knife, directly Shikai, and solved the ability. Shikai. Chaos, time and space. Solution. Time and space ruling. After being solved, Lan Yu directly opened the corridor of time that runs through to the past. Look at the past year by year. Until I saw Hashirama and Madara playing together by the river when they were young. You go over and try. A clone was separated, and Lan Yu dropped it in. Continue watching. I saw Lan Yu clone appeared behind Zubin. One person gave a back of his head. A whole Hashirama. Why are you hitting me? Zhaoban suddenly turned around and stared, super fierce and fierce. Little Hashirama's eyes widened. Wow, you obviously beat me, so you are like Madara. Titicaca. The back of the head was bounced again, and the small pillar and the young Madara shivered suddenly. Because the two looked at each other, suddenly the back of the head was photographed, but no one was seen. Little Pillar and Little Madara exclaimed at the same time. God, there is a ghost. Lan Yu's avatar was so imaginatively invisible, watching the two of them each run towards the house. Okay, come back. After taking back the clone, Lan Yu immediately summoned Madara. Soon, the two arrived, feeling a little confused. They just watched the movie made by White Zetsu and Jiraiya. Sengoku last year. To the love we will eventually lose. This is a good movie, it's so touching. Do you remember when you were young? With that said, Lan Yu was also sensing all the details of the two of them, whether there was any change, and continued. By the river, have you seen a ghost thing? Damn it. Hashirama and Madara's hands trembled inexplicably. Even though they are killing ghosts, souls, now like killing chickens, their memories of fear for many days when they were young are very fresh. Hashirama scratched his head. How did your majesty know? It's late, sorry, your majesty knows everything. Lan Yu's eyelids twitched slightly. I'm not that good. Lan Yu said. It's okay, just to tell you that the war is about to start. Take advantage of these hours to go to the ninja world, just as a vacation. Thank your majesty. With that said, Madara's mind couldn't help but the voice and smile of Black Zetsu appeared. No matter where you go, even if you run into a parallel world, I will get you out this time and kill you on the spot. Black Zetsu. Have you discovered this? Experiments prove that these are insignificant, or that there is no interleaving and change that affects the historical process. With my ability, it is enough to repair, thousands of years ago. Well, that's it. If you go back to the past and kill Uzumaki Mido, the power of feedback will not be the current Lan Yu can bear. Yes, it is Lan Yu's ability to repair, not a world repair. Ancient times, is it tiny? What is the upper limit? Uzumaki Mido. 500 years. Arrive. No, what I want to do seems to have changed, but in fact nothing has changed, but everything has changed. It can be rewritten slightly. Peas. Well, the name is weak, Shikai language is also very bad, the leader of the Shikai language is the most haughty. But still, it didn't affect any historical progress. On the contrary, as long as Lan Yu can withstand the power of time and space feedback. 100 years ago. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Lan Yu, step into the corridor of time in one step. Chapter 115. Otsutsuki Kaguya arrives, attack and kill the boss Otsutsuki. Advertisement thousands of years ago. The human world in ancient times has been wars again and again. The melee fighting among nations, ethnic groups and tribes has never stopped. On this day, night is coming. Boom. Suddenly a sound exploded in the sky, and countless people looked up and their complexions changed drastically. I saw the night sky. A meteorite that looked like a burning flame struck across the sky, drawing a red beam of light along the way. In an instant, I don't know where I rushed, a strong vibration washed away all directions. Desolate land. A huge crater appeared, braving bursts of high temperature and white smoke. I saw two figures standing in the pit. The body is washed away with terrible pressure that no one can imagine in the current era. A woman, she is tall and has fair skin, a beautiful face, light blue and white long hair, and a pair of Byakugan twinkling light. The temperament is high and cold, but his eyes reveal the curiosity about everything around him. Another man. Gray hair, a long bend on the forehead, a Byakugan left eye, and a black line on the right eye. The temperament is cold, and Jing Shangku is full of disdain. The Otsutsuki family. The guardian and the guarded are combined, such as Jinshi and Taoshi. This woman is one level lower than the man. She belongs to the guardian and is subordinate to the man. The two need to plant a sacred tree in this world and give the fruit to the Otsutsuki high level. If it exceeds a certain period, Otsutsuki will send a new team to investigate and recover. What's so beautiful about the world where such inferior creatures live? The man's voice was full of arrogance when he caught a glimpse of the woman looking at something secretly. Don't waste time, let me plant the sacred tree. The woman did not speak, but followed calmly. It's just that in her pair of Byakugan, there is a strange light that ordinary guardians don't have. Is the guardian a subordinate? Sorry, the Otsutsuki clan sees their subordinates as rations, and they can sacrifice things at any time. The two are fast. It's an honor for you to see me, inferior creatures. Some humans who passed by were all destroyed by the men's arrogant and disdainful hands. The woman was silent, already used to it. There is a dimensional gap between the Otsutsuki family and ordinary humans. In the eyes of many Otsutsuki, humans and ants are no different. The environment and worldview they grew up in determines that they are different from human cognition. Don't expect those arrogant Otsutsuki to show mercy to humans at all. After a while, the two stopped. Perceiving haughtily around the man, he sneered and said, I didn't expect this small planet to have such a special energy. In this way, the sacred tree will grow much faster than other planets. Natural energy, not chakra. Shanshu chakra, mental energy plus cell energy plus natural energy. The natural energy in the ninja world is the energy circulating in the world. Even in the universe, there are very few worlds containing natural energy. However, I don't want to waste time in this world. Although it is much faster, men want to cultivate faster. So, the man looked at the woman and spoke proudly and as expected. Go ahead as planned, Kaguya. The woman gave a soft drink, without any objection. The man smiled proudly. Woman, Otsutsuki Kaguya. Man. Otsutsuki in one style. One style is one level higher than Kaguya. But this small level is very different in the Otsutsuki clan. Plan. In order to cultivate 10 tails into a sacred tree and bear chakra fruits, Kaguya, one level lower than himself, will be sacrificed to 10 tails. So as to cultivate the sacred tree faster and more perfect. In other words, Kaguya wants to exchange life for the perfect acceleration of the fruit's birth. Such as Peach style and Jinshi. In a word of Peach style, Jin's direct sacrifice of life became a fruit, which was eaten by Jin's. Kaguya cannot refuse the difference in level. The more arrogant the race, the stricter the rules, and it is basically impossible for subordinates to disobey orders. Come out, 10 tails. A chakra-wrapped sphere appeared in Otsutsuki's hands, and inside it was sealed a creature with 10 tails. Huh. The 10-tailed sphere was thrown to the ground in one go, and chakra directly penetrated the abyss like a beam of light. Soon, the sturdy branches climbed out of the abyss, forming a big tree. But it's fast, the longer it gets, the slower it gets. Get ready to sacrifice, Kaguya, Otsutsuki said in one speech, pressing his hand on the sacred tree, and constantly importing his own chakra. And between the two, a golden aperture with a huge 9-hook jade pattern is formed. Otsutsuki maintains the sacrificial aperture wholeheartedly, without head Kaido. It's now, hurry in, sacrifice? Advertisement Kaguya's Byakugan shone with complicated light. In addition to receiving unexpected rewards from the top, the rank of most people in Otsutsuki is determined from birth. Since childhood, Otsutsuki has taught that the guardian must dedicate his life to the guarded at any time. This concept has been engraved in the bones. Even worse than the clan and branch houses of the Hyuga clan. But there are always some guardians who are unwilling in their hearts, so why should they die for the guarded? But this kind of guardian who violated Otsutsuki's philosophy, once discovered, was executed on the spot. And Kaguya, it's the undiscovered one, chi. At this moment, Otsutsuki Kaguya brings all the chakras together. Perceiving the chakra fluctuations behind him, Yishi didn't feel anything wrong, and continued to urge. There is no need to condense chakra, you just go in and give it. Boom. Next moment, Kaguya makes a full blow. The general pain came from behind. Maintaining the sacrificial formation and sending chakra towards the sacred tree, furious and incredulous. Otsutsuki Kaguya, what are you doing? How dare you attack me, you? Before he finished speaking, he was forced to fall over and fell into the sacrifice formation without reacting. Chi. I saw a big mouth appeared on the sacred tree, devouring Otsutsuki very greedily. In an instant, the body was constantly being swallowed by the sacred tree, making Yishi feel unprecedented pain and resentment. Otsutsuki Kaguya. You violated the ancestral precepts, the elders will not let you go, Kaguya roared loudly, and Kaguya watched calmly. Look for flowers. Damn it. Otsutsuki's eyes were full of ferociousness and it was difficult to break free, and finally gritted his teeth and activated the operation in his right eye. One right eye. A black wheel-like pattern with 8 spokes in the center. Little named Suguna. In an instant, all the remaining chakra erupted in one burst. The whole person turned into a tiny streamer and disappeared. Escaped? Kaguya Byakugan's pupils shrink slightly. Shao named Suguna. One of the abilities of a right eye, which can shrink all objects you see in an instant, and it can also shrink itself hundreds of times. Except for yourself, you cannot make any creature with a living body smaller. Shrink yourself, focus on chakra to break a small sacrificial rift at one point, and escape to life. That kind of injury, even if you are alive, is no longer a threat. Kaguya said softly and relaxed, she just didn't want to die meaninglessly. But after all, he still attacked the guarded, and can't go back again. Sooner or later, he will be hunted down by the Otsutsuki clan. The Otsutsuki style that traveled thousands of miles away, although not dead, was still swallowed by the sacred tree half of the body. Seriously injured and dying. Damn, Kaguya, damn you, dared to attack me, you are the shame of Otsutsuki. He fell to the ground in resentment, and still couldn't believe that Kaguya dared to attack him. The Otsutsuki family will never allow this kind of heresy to exist, isn't she afraid of death? Kaguya. The concubine's body is really scary, who will save the concubine's body? Puff cough cough. Otsutsuki kept coughing up blood, suddenly his expression stagnated. Because in front, a monk with hair gathered on the top of his head and a long braid came up. Are you okay? Seeing that 1.5 of his body was gone, the monk was startled, but he still came over to prepare for treatment. Inferior creatures. Seeing the monk approaching, a vicious look flashed across his eyes. Wedge. The unique ability of the Otsutsuki family. People of the Otsutsuki clan can copy themselves and digitize themselves, and then infiltrate others. But the style at this moment is very weak, and there is not enough power to carve a model for the monk and become his weapon. Little named Suguna. Yishi shrunk the body hundreds of times again, and entered the monk's body directly from the ears. Suddenly, a steady and powerful sound exploded in my ears. The other side, Kaguya stood quietly in a daze, watching the sacred tree grow rapidly. Miss Kaguya was suddenly shocked. "Ah, what are you doing?" Because of one type of energy, he lived for thousands of years. Who is it? The top leader of the Bo-Ren Chuan Shell organization. One formula decides to survive in the monk's body while absorbing nutrients in the form of a parasite. The monk's name is Sishion, Otsutsuki 1 style. Bo-Ren Chuan is the big boss behind the scenes. Wait for some recovery. Ps. The plot of the ancient times, mainly comics. Children are blessings from everyone. Door. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Then control the monk's brain, engrave it, and use the monk to resurrect. This tree is good, but it's useless to me. Kaguya is an ascetic. Chapter 116. Kaguya. This man said that his concubine is a rabbit. Advertisement. Who are you? When Otsutsuki Kaguya turned around, there was an unspeakable shock in his heart. This is the world of ordinary humans, and there are people who can approach themselves silently. Fortunately, except for the extraordinarily handsome and extravagant, the noble temperament is beyond description. There is no characteristic of the Otsutsuki clan. You. Don't come here. The other party took a step towards him, and Kaguya couldn't help taking a step back like a frightened little rabbit. Seeing this scene, Lan Yu was surprised with a smile. The future goddess of Mao has such an interesting side. Kaguya at this moment has light blue and white hair fluttering, no eyes on his forehead, and no horns on his head. Compared with the Hyuga family, the difference is very small. But Kaguya's temperament is undoubtedly more noble, and there is some simplicity in the high cold. Yes, Kaguya is very simple now. I don't understand the world, love, hate, and hatred. It's just that he is not reconciled to the master of life, and he resists angrily. Who are you? Kaguya at this moment is really a little nervous. Growing up in the Otsutsuki clan, the strong have seen a lot. But no one has given her a sense of oppression. Lan Yu has such a strong sense of oppression. Perhaps Otsutsuki has a much higher level of existence than 6 paths, but Lan Yu is a specialized soul. 830. From the gap on Ryotsu, even if it is unconsciously distributed, it is enough to suffocate ordinary people. What Kaguya felt was Ryotsu's oppression. This made her understand. The other party is far stronger than her. Your performance just now was very good. Lan Yu glanced at the rapidly growing sacred tree, and then at Kaguya, whose Byakugan flickered. No one is above the top from the beginning, and for what reason is born inferior to others. The truly strong must take their destiny in their own hands. Come on, Kaguya, I am optimistic about you. Miss Kaguya's eyes were confused, but there was also sadness and joy in her eyes. Confused about what Lan Yu is, knowing himself so well. Sadly, I violated the ancestral precepts, and finally could not escape. With joy, someone identified with himself. The pain and helplessness of the guardians of the Otsutsuki clan is more than 10,000 times that of the Hyuga branch house. Like a puppet since childhood, received relevant education from various guardians until the brainwashing was successful. And, dedicate life to the guarded at any time, but you can't hide it. Thinking of the strength of the Otsutsuki clan, Kaguya couldn't help feeling sad, and sat on the ground with her knees in her arms. Miss Kaguya like this, Lan Yu expressed her eyesight. Kaguya who did not eat the fruit at this moment, it's the most weak and confused moment. Just recently severely injured Otsutsuki, it is a rare opportunity in 1,000 years. But then? What to do? Devouring fruit? Of course Kaguya must do this. But the Otsutsuki clan devours too many fruits, can stop the first wave, and cannot withstand more Otsutsuki. Otsutsuki is not dead yet. Lan Yu's sentence made Kaguya's eyelashes tremble slightly, and I only heard Lan Yu continue. When the time comes, no matter if the news is passed out or you fail to send the fruit back in time, it will attract the Otsutsuki clan to investigate and recover. Fighting back two more repulsions will surely alarm the Otsutsuki senior. Miss Kaguya clenched her fists. Since she dared to attack, it proved that she didn't want to die. In other words, no one wants to die meaninglessly. Lan Yu calmly walked in front of Kaguya, looked at her confused eyes and said, "Do you think you can escape?" Kaguya bit her lip lightly. Take a picture, take a picture. Lan Yu took out the camera to shoot at Yuyin openly. Kaguya was shocked. What is that? Yes, very photogenic. Lan Yu took the photo from the camera and handed it to Kaguya. Kaguya didn't answer, and kept vigilant towards the strong like Lan Yu in his heart. But with a startling glance, Kaguya's Byakugan couldn't help but screamed. Yeah, this woman is so beautiful, Lan Yu. Kaguya, you won. Do you Otsutsuki never look in the mirror? No, this is what a concubine looks like. Looking at it again, Kaguya spoke like this. He took it and took a closer look, when he saw that he was weak in the photo. Kaguya suddenly clenched his fists, cheering for herself. No, the concubine body can't be so weak, the concubine body must be strong. With that said, Kaguya stuffed the photo somewhere, got up full of motivation and ran towards the sacred tree. Interesting. Seeing this scene, Lan Yu whispered. For Kaguya who claimed to be a concubine, there was nothing wrong with it. Because of the Emperor of the Motherland, he claimed to be a concubine? No, Kaguya's rank in Otsutsuki is lower than Otsutsuki, which is a modest name for women. Moreover, the Emperor of the Motherland, it's not that Lan Yu looks down on him. No matter how simple Kaguya is, but growing up in a proud and ultimate race like Otsutsuki, it is impossible to commit himself to an ordinary human. Elephants fancy ants? Advertisement. The same is true in the comics. Kaguya and Yishi come, seriously injured Yishi, eat the fruit, put down the war, get everyone's blessings, bread, and change their personality, infinite Tsukuyomi. Because Kaguya calmed the troubled times, was called the goddess of Mao. At that time, Kaguya was loved and respected by countless people, and they blessed Kaguya. Because of the blessings of everyone, and thus bread. It can be said, Kaguya was a great woman before she performed infinite Tsukuyomi. Also, it's an ascetic. Looking at Kaguya, Lan Yu's expression was a little weird. Ascetic, what do you mean? Don't like men or, don't like that? Don't you even climb trees? Looking at Kaguya who was trying to climb the tree and almost fell, Lan Yu felt his scalp numb. Concubine. Hearing Lan Yu's words, a touch of red climbed onto Kaguya's ear, which was very embarrassing. The concubine's chakra just ran out of attacks. Lan Yu waved his hand and said, "Don't explain, you are the weakest Otsutsuki I have ever seen." Kaguya couldn't help waving his fists. No, it's really just that chakra is exhausted, the concubine is very powerful. Chakra recovers, beckoning will bring the fruit down. This sentence, Lan Yu believes, but it is undeniable. Before Kaguya ate the fruit, it is indeed the weakest of the Otsutsuki clan that has descended on the earth, the cute one. Jinshi, Taoist, Pu style, Yi style, which are all awesome. I was able to sneak into one form just now, which is purely a form of distraction, and concentrated all chakra on the god tree, maintaining the sacrifice formation 0. Kaguya hit the sacrificial formation with a full blow. Do you want? The next moment, Kaguya stunned. 10 tails swallowed a half of the sacred tree fruit that quickly grew out of his body, and fell into Lan Yu's hands. Kaguya did not speak, but looked at Lan Yu stubbornly. Lan Yu said flatly, "If you don't want to be chased by Otsutsuki and counterattack in the past, from now on, everything is up to me." Impossible. Kaguya shook his head. What she said was impossible, not because of Lan Yu or something, but because it was impossible to counterattack the powerful Otsutsuki. Brush. Next moment, under Kaguya's stunned gaze, Lan Yu flashed in front of her, put his hand on her head and said seriously, "With me, everything is okay." Kaguya was in a daze for a moment. How confident this man is. But seeing Lan Yu's eyes look weird, and touching his head like a rabbit, Kaguya suddenly exploded. The concubine body is not a rabbit, Lan Yu suddenly said. Oh, it turned out not to be. You are getting angry. Kaguya raised his head and looked directly at Lan Yu, showing a super fierce expression on me. Come, eat it, let me see your strength. Lan Yu handed the fruit over, looking forward to it. If you lose, bring me tea and water from now on. Bring tea and water. You will regret saying this. Yoruichi swallowed the chakra fruit, and Byakugan became brighter and brighter. In an instant, a seam opened on the forehead, and the two corners of the forehead began to grow. At this moment, Lan Yu's low drink came. It's too ugly, take your eyes and horns back. Suddenly blasted sound, Ms. Kaguya was agitated. The horns of the head and the reincarnation of the forehead Sharingan closed instantly. For a while, Kaguya couldn't help but feel annoyed. Why is she so afraid of him? No, the concubine can't be so weak. So, Kaguya looked up at Lan Yu. The horn is the symbol of the Otsutsuki clan, but the concubine has already decided to betray, so 5.6 is not needed. The concubine wants to knock you down. What should I do if Ms. Kaguya is familiar? Just to fight. Pride is born to the Otsutsuki clan, and Lan Yu wants to break it. Only in this way will Kaguya behave. Kaguya and Lan Yu raised their hands at the same time, and chakra and spiritual power moved forward at the same time. The Imperial Palace of Heaven, Space Confusion. Kaguya. It can weave space freely, and can transfer the world and the people around it to the heaven of space in an instant. It's malfunctioning. At the instant of instant, it was directly interrupted by another more powerful spatial force. Kaguya's eyes showed confusion. Bite. A finger flicked on her forehead, and she was bounced out of her loss. Rabbit hair needles. Next moment, Kaguya's long hair fell from the sky, and rushed into the sky as sharp thorns. Lan Yu raised his hand to pieces and said a word. All said that it was rabbit fur, and that you were not a rabbit. No, the concubine is really angry. Kaguya who flew back raised his palm, and endless chakra burst out. 80 Gods Airstrike. Boom. Chapter 117. Truth-Seeking Ball. Advertisement, 80 Gods Airstrike. After being P***D off by Lan Yu again, Kaguya directly opened up. Came to the sky in an instant, waved a palm in the air. It seems to be a relaxed and freehand meeting, however, Jin sent out countless terrifying vacuum fists, making the space scream. Every fist shattered and repelled the atmosphere inside, and the difference in absolute vacuum formed the power of ruining the world. This random meeting is only you, in an instant. Lan Yu felt the sky darken, everything was swallowed, only fists in the sky were left. 80 Gods Airstrike. Shake the sky with Immortal Tao, offensive and defensive, unrelenting fists. This is Kaguya Chakra Ultimate's blood trap, only she can use it. The strongest physique from the palm of your hand. The reason why it is the strongest is because it integrates offense and defense, and works perfectly with Byakugan. And, it's easy and freehand, relaxation is the point. If one time is not enough, Kaguya can come 100 or 8,000 times. Boom. Lan Yu bloomed directly with Ryotsu, under Kaguya's incredulous gaze. The 80 sky magical attack she launched was directly lifted under Lan Yu's eyes and suddenly disappeared. Can you achieve this level of aura? Kaguya thought for a while and started to try. She released the terrifying chakra, which continuously caused the sky to roar, forming layers of waves. The concubine body can't do it. Realizing that his aura is not so strong, Kaguya couldn't help clenching his fists. If even this man is inferior, what would she do to resist the Otsutsuki clan? You seem to have misunderstood 07. Lan Yu said with interest. I really want to hear from you, the concubine can't do it. I always feel that this sentence is very rude. Kaguya Baikugan flashed, then disappeared in place. Now, the space behind Lan Yu was silent, like a mosaic, breaking through a dark space. Wangshen Bilenzaka, before the full moment, appeared from the gate of the Hades. Kaguya is the ultimate space ninjutsu. You can move freely in different spaces, attack, shorten the distance, disturb, surprise, avoid, and escape. Buzz. The moment Kaguya's body emerged from the dark space, a special energy was washed away. As this fixed body, Lan Yu perceives the weird energy, and it doesn't stand still at all. Rooting is to match Wangshen Hirosaka's ability, which will make it impossible to play against the manual. The Imperial Palace of Heaven. The moment Kaguya appeared, he did not choose to attack, but released the heavenly Yuchu again. Kaguya was a little bit unwilling to be interrupted by Lan Yu before being released. Buzz. Next, Kaguya's eyes lit up. Lan Yu, as she thought, was directly pulled into the heavenly Imperial Center ice space. The cold wind is drenching, and there is ice and snow everywhere. This is a great trick. Lan Yu looked around. Although he came in deliberately, he had to say that Heaven's Imperial Court was too buggy. Only time and space ninjutsu is not enough to go out, even Kamui, it takes a very large amount of chakra to get out. 6 Guyu Rinnegan's 2 pillars can enter and exit, but due to the large consumption of chakra and pupil power, Guyu temporarily disappears. For others, Kaguya is enough to kill in a flash, just throw it in an instant. Sooner or later, starve to death. It seems that you are not invincible, my concubine is very happy. Miss Kaguya Tsunere a little, but Lan Yu didn't care. To treat an arrogant enemy, first let her experience the joy of victory, and then let her feel the loss of defeat. That kind of drastic change in mood is enough to smash all pride. Icicles 99. Kaguya raised his hand to control the ice space to attack, she also understood anyway. My thinking is too simple, I can't say that Lan Yu can't. Swish swish. In the huge ice space, countless huge icicles hundreds of meters high were sent directly, and they smashed towards Lan Yu in an overwhelming manner. The ice chamber of the sky, more than icicles, Kaguya launched attacks again and again. In an instant, the temperature plummeted again. Except for icicles, all other material movements will slow down. Kill the ashes gathered together. At the same moment when everything was slow, Kaguya once again launched a terrifying bloody trap. Must kill skills, as long as it is touched, it will be wiped out. And the co-killing Grey Bones year-old is the multiple co-killing Grey Bones released by Kaguya, directly attacking Lan Yu. Suddenly, found that you were a lot smarter. Kaguya actually learned how to move, icicles pretend to attack, ice chamber assisted, a total of ashes must be killed. Lan Yu believes that Kaguya has great potential. But Lan Yu is also experimenting with his Zanpakuto abilities. Solution. Time and space ruling. Buzz. In an instant, one of the skills, time stands still. The icicles stop. Kill the Grey Bones together, stop. The snow and ice in the sky are suspended. Kaguya's body is stuck in place. Although your ultimatum is better than the other, it is difficult to hurt the same level, let alone me. Lan Yu stepped forward to Kaguya and flicked her forehead. You should be more than that. Little rabbit. This guy. Call me rabbit again. Advertisement. Kaguya's heart is full of resentment, how is she like a rabbit? But this ability to stand still makes Kaguya feel a little weak in his heart. If she remembers correctly, there are many people in the Otsutsuki clan who know this. For example, Otsutsuki Peach Style can freeze time. Otsutsuki Urashiki can also go back in time, but none of Lan Yu's easy freehand brushwork, and the scope is huge, can even trap her for so long. Is my concubine able to move? The next moment, after Kaguya realized that he could move, he moved away decisively. The reluctance to admit defeat made her drink lightly. The concubine body will not be defeated so easily. Witness the true power. Cuckoo. Lan Yu couldn't help laughing because of the sound of rabbits coming from nowhere, and Kaguya blushed. It's not a rabbit, you got it wrong. Roar. I saw that Kaguya had an unparalleled chakra on his body, and his whole body swelled. In a blink of an eye it became a very white, huge, rabbit-like monster. Kaguya's tail beastization. Lan Yu's expression was weird. Isn't this a rabbit? It just appeared. The concubine body is not a rabbit. Kaguya's voice came from the giant rabbit again, and a cloud of pitch black came out directly from his body. If you can run away now, your concubine won't look down on you, or you will definitely die. The cohesive black ball made Lan Yu look at him. Truth-seeking ball? Swelling truth-seeking ball. Specifically, it should be said that Kaguya's tail beastization was released. Truth-seeking ball. Seal the power of the Sun Luo Wanxiang, and summon the chaotic pitch black sphere. The 5 elements, yin and yang, are all swallowed together, annihilating everything, and having the power to return the world to nothingness. It is a huge block of chaos. Bans Senlu of Vientiane, Hashirama's existence is negated, it is more convenient than this. Lan Yu thought of the holy text of Zumadara. In a sense, if two people are strong enough, they can all make the world into nothingness. Even now, I can resist Kaguya's final truth-seeking ball. Aren't you running away? The truth-seeking ball swelled to the limit, and Kaguya couldn't help asking again. No need. Lan Yu outrageously shot. Holding the platinum time and space Zanpakuto instantly fell on top of Kaguya. Under Kaguya's unbelievable gaze again, Lan Yu swung his knife and fell. Space exile. A huge invisible barrier suddenly engulfed Kaguya's condensed and expanded truth-seeking ball. There is no direct contact, which directly causes the layered spatial tides. Destroyed Kaguya's ultimate move to the unknown space. Shit. Immediately afterwards, Lan Yu slashed down again, and a brilliant slash turned into a beam of light, which fell directly on Kaguya. Huge white rabbit, cut in two pieces. Boom. The rabbit dissipated abruptly, and Kaguya fell to the ground with a dull sound of landing. Concubine, lost. Except for Infinite Tsukuyomi, all the big moves were played again. Kaguya lost his eyes and felt extremely lost. Lost to Lan Yu is acceptable. What was unacceptable was that Lan Yu didn't lose a single hair, telling her weakness. She liked this, how to face the Otsutsuki clan. The Otsutsuki clan is my goal. You can use tea from the back to send water to warm the field. Lan Yu walked gently and saw Kaguya's eyes widen. Lan Yu continued. Isn't it right? That's what he said before the battle. Kaguya stood up and said, no, the Otsutsuki clan is very strong. I hope so. Lan Yu really hopes that the Otsutsuki 850 clan is incredibly powerful, so that he can be extremely excited. The fun of fighting can only be felt by the strong. Next, remember every word I say, not a word can be forgotten. Lan Yu's sternness made Kaguya evote, and his ears were pricked up. I come from the future, thousands of years from now. What? In a word, let Kaguya careless, just listen to Lan Yu continue. First, I will teach you the spirit clone and shadow clone, you need to try to turn it into your own ability. Separate one's own will and chakra, and use yin and yang escape to become a completely independent clone, and cut all connections. I will perfect what the clone lacks, and this clone cannot have all the memories related to me. Kaguya blinked, a little confused. Lan Yu believes that he can erase these minor influences. Second, I will pass all the ninjutsu known to later generations to your body. I will set up another independent space, and you will practice in it. Separate, after leaving the clone, you can't go out again, until the time set by the space is automatically released. Speaking of this, Lan Yu said seriously, don't think about leaving my space. It is composed of multiple time and space. If you can't go out, listen to me honestly, understand? Kaguya listened in a daze. This man, are you going to lock up your concubine and play around? When Kaguya was maliciously guessing, Lan Yu took out a camera and stood beside Kaguya. Group photo. Crack. This photo is left to your clone. This is a small loophole deliberately left. I need to use it to exercise my space-time ability. If you want, some more. Sage of 6 paths. That's it, I remember it. So-called, the touch of familiarity with Lan Yu comes from a photo of her mother's room. Wrong. Your mother is the product of the yin and yang escape while complemented by Lan Yu? Lan Yu. You are already dead, don't add drama. Black Zetsu. It turns out that I am the product of the will of the avatar of the will. I tried to be lonely? Chapter 118. Thousands of years have passed, Miss Kaguya is too pitiful. Advertisement. Wrong, not so. How do you learn? You can't even learn a shadow clone. You are the worst I have ever taken. Forget it, continue to punish the station. Kaguya stood in a corner with grievances, eyes full of unlovable. This man's words are too sad. What, put a little ninjutsu and still have seals? What is Jiyin? Kaguya feels confused. Isn't the move just to stare at the eyes, raise your hand and it's over, how complicated it is. Tianyu Nikauchi. Kaguya is not far away. Lan Yu was sitting on the table and sipping tea while educating. It's not the problem of Jia Yin. Your foundation is too bad, you will only use a lot of tricks, and you can't hit people. How can this work? You can't even learn clone technique, so what do you use to learn shadow clone, multiple shadow clone? Why F2F? Zumadara. Your Majesty, how do you teach her such a terrible ninjutsu? It's too messy. Kaguya murmured, the concubine body can use yin and yang. Yin and yang are right. Lan Yu looked sharp, and said sharply, you haven't done the basics yet, you just want to fly, right? The concubine can fly. Come here for you. For this kind of Chinese-mouthed student, Lan Yu drew a 40-meter knife. No, the plank. Listen to me. First, don't refute what I said. Second, what I say is what I say. Third, correct your attitude, or wait for the Otsutsuki clan to catch you, and sooner or later regret it. Hearing the Otsutsuki clan, Kaguya suddenly clenched his fists. Concubine body must work hard to become stronger. Lan Yu continued to teach. Your chakra, there are no problems with ults, the only difference is combat experience and some support abilities. In the next 3 months, you and I will fight 3 times a day. 3 months later, you will fight against the clone. My concubine sees it, teacher. Kaguya nodded obediently. How did you become a teacher? Well, it doesn't matter, at least this female student is very strong and seductive. 1 month later, Heavenly Imperial Nikauchi, Kaguya made a seal very seriously. Multiple shadow clone technique, Titicaca Titicaca. A series of voices sounded. Countless, densely packed, Kaguya clones, with no end in sight, fill this space. What an infinite chakra. When Lan saw you, he felt very exciting inexplicably. That sentence, Kaguya can say it proudly. Kaguya, the protagonist, 10,000 concubines. Those younger generations can actually invent such ninjutsu, which really amazes my concubine. Kaguya looked back at the avatar in the sky, and suddenly felt that the whole clan of Otsutsuki was not so scary. Certainly, it is impossible for every clone to be as strong as her body. But there are too many clones, it is awesome. Lan Yu opened the mouth and said, dignified chakra ancestor, it took only a month to proficiently apply multiple shadow clone, those younger generations know that they will die of laughter. #TE. Concubine is so sad, please comfort. The next step is to develop the avatar of the will. Lan Yu said solemnly, he didn't come to play in the ancient times. If there are any problems with the plan, it is likely to cause chaos in time and space. Spirit clone, shadow clone, plus yin and yang escape, separate the will and form a perfect clone of an independent entity. After listening to Lan Yu's words, Kaguya nodded seriously. In other words, from then on, Kaguya was replaced by the clone to stay in the ninja world. To stably maintain the historical process, this is very simple for the concubine body. Kaguya spoke cautiously, and Tsunere raised his head at the end. But when Lan Yu glanced at it, Kaguya suddenly shrank his head, causing Lan Yu to laugh. Kaguya, like this is fine. Then let's start. As Lan Yu's words fell, Kaguya began to try. First, separate the soul and the will. Inject yin and yang escape and chakra. A touch of pain made Kaguya frown. Lan Yu immediately raised his hand. This won't work, it will hurt you too much. You have to use the spirit body clone to separate the soul and the will. Okay, teacher. Kaguya said, feeling warm. Although the teacher is strict, he still cares a lot about people sometimes. No, this is a big devil. My concubine is so kind, how can I warm my heart just because of a word? That's not right, do it again, wrong again, be serious. You are not saved. Give up treatment. Kaguya wanted to cry without tears. Is the concubine really that bad? Kaguya said that he was stimulated and quickly merged and sublimated various clone techniques perfectly. Come out, Kaguya. A Kaguya with the same appearance, the same temperament, and the same soul essence. All kinds of Kaguya appear almost indistinguishable. Boom. At the next moment, Lan Yu's Ryatsu is directly pressed over. In the heart of Kaguya's body, this clone was directly suppressed to the ground. Soul pull away. Immediately after Kaguya's eyelashes trembled, Lan Yu pulled out the soul of the clone. Fantasy memory stripping. Fantasy ability stripping. Lan Yu is merciless. Strip away everything about Lan Yu in the clone memory, as well as everything that Kaguya has recently learned. In the next moment, Kaguya was truly shocked like never before. Fantasy increased chakra fruit. Advertisement. Lan Yu directly pulled out the chakra of Kaguya clone and increased it. A new chakra fruit was formed. Seeing Kaguya's shock and perplexity, Lan Yu said, to do it, to be perfect. She looks like you, but she is not enough to become 10 tails, and the energy in her body is not enough to form new fruits. A weaker point may lead to changes in the course of history, so a perfect increase is required. Kaguya kept nodding his head. Concubine body doesn't understand at all, but just listen carefully. The teacher is great, so be it. Lan Yu didn't explain further. The Kaguya avatar and a photo and chakra fruit were thrown directly out of the heavenly imperial court. Brush. Shinobi. Under the sacred tree. Kaguya avatar looked around in confusion, and it took him a long time to wake up. Why is my concubine in a daze? What is this? Looking at the photo of Lan Yu in his hand, Kaguya avatar subconsciously put it away, frowning again. By the way, the fruit of the sacred tree. Kaguya avatar looked up and saw the ripe chakra fruit. Everything, from now on, the little bug in the photo, I should be able to fix it. If Lan Yu wants to exercise his time and space ability, he needs to set up some bugs to exercise. 2 months later, Lan Yu opened up an independent world of time and space and made the final preparations. The time is set. It will be disbanded when it is automatic, and Kaguya can't get out by himself. Lan Yu looked at Kaguya, who had grown a lot, and said, the next thousands of years, you have to work hard to start Tensigen, develop Susanoo, and learn chakra. Shinra Tianzheng, Universal Pull, Planetary Devastation, etc., develop by yourself. You have to learn ninjutsu in all departments, integrate into your own system, and deal with various situations. 8 Inner Gates integrates 80 Gods airstrikes, Flying Thunder God integrates into Hirazaka, develops Dead Bone Pulse into Co-Killing Grey Bones, and develops various forms of Truth-Seeking Ball. Seeing Kaguya's dull look, Lan Yu said with ease. If you have a lot of skills, don't press your body, anyway, you have time. Kaguya has a feeling at this moment. Blue Star students feel like they have been assigned tens of thousands of homework by the teacher during the summer vacation. Concubine body, too difficult. Lan Yu took out a lot of modern products and books. In order to prevent you from being bored, let's finish reading these 120,000 books of all kinds. Remember to make a comment and I will check it. 120,000 books? Kaguya couldn't help but widen his eyes. She now has reason to suspect that Lan Yu is already ready to educate her. No, this is bullying a weak woman. It's almost time, I'm leaving. Being a teacher, Lan Yu has a sense of accomplishment. He believes Kaguya, who appears again, will make all enemies tremble. Are you leaving? Suddenly, Kaguya felt very empty in her heart. Although she was often beaten and scolded, these months were her happiest time. Bairan raised his head. Kaguya ran towards Lan Yu and hugged him with an open hand. Teacher, don't die when your concubine leaves. Are you cursing me? That's right, that's what my concubine thinks. Wait a minute, I'll add 100,000 more books to you, you must finish reading. Woo! Concubines can't do it. Time in the corridor. Lan Yu sat cross-legged, observing the changes in ancient times and preventing accidents. As in the course of history, Kaguya became a clone and gained powerful power after eating the fruit of the sacred tree. Then, with his own power, the ancient era of endless wars was put down. Enter the age of the goddess of Yu. Countless people love and admire her. Time flies. The goddess of Yu received blessings from everyone and gave birth to children. 6 Paths twins are born. When Yuya was young, he saw the picture of Lan Yu in the room of goddess Uzbek. The most of Qian Zhao's was destroyed by goddess Uzbek in distress. Time flies. The goddess of Yuya worried more and more about the coming of the Otsutsuki clan. Infinite Tsukuyomi is opened and white Zetsu soldiers are made. 6 Paths brothers fight against the goddess of Mao. The battle lasted for months. In the end, the goddess of Yu was sealed. At the moment before being sealed, a puddle of black mud fell on the ground. Gigi smiled and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Nailed it. At the moment when Black Zetsu appeared, Lan Yu instantly returned to the Empire. It was 2 days after he entered the corridor of time. Perceive everything. Once the clone is done, the main body will not be affected. At the same time, Peas, thanks for the support Osamuro monthly pass. Thinking of Kaguya pitifully immersed in training for thousands of years in a different space, Lan Yu's eyelids twitched. In other words, some of the effects were directly offset by his ability. The land of Lulan, Fen, suddenly a serious question came to mind, why Lan Yu wanted Kaguya to retreat. Kaguya, you have to understand, this is my temper for you, yes, come on. Goal, Dragon Vein. Within the Land of Wind. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. It's okay to bring it back directly. Madara came to search for traces of Black Zetsu, and Minato came to investigate. Nothing was affected. Kaguya, it's too pitiful to sail down. No, why didn't I bring the Kaguya ontology directly to the present? Ban, Hashirama, Namikaze Minato, and Kakashi happened to meet together. Chapter 119. I, Namikaze Naruto, come from the Great Empire Age. Advertisement within the Land of Wind, Ancient Lulan. The young Namikaze Minato corresponds to the most prosperous period of the ancient Lulan country. Under the original trajectory, Minato should have brought Kakashi without Sharingan a few years ago to perform the mission here. However, the original trajectory of the ninja world has long been changed beyond recognition by the existence of the Empire. This time, it is because White Zetsu investigated a dragon vein in the ancient country of Lulan that contains endless chakra. Considering whether there will be any unfavorable factors for the Empire, so I told everyone. Minato and Kakashi offered to ask Ying to investigate. And Madara and Hashirama, looking for some traces of Black Zetsu, they found them all the way. The two meet. After chatting with each other for a while, they entered the ancient country of Lulan together. The first time they entered, the 4 of them were surprised. Wow, Madara, look, as soon as he entered, Hashirama couldn't help but yelled. Madara ignored it and couldn't help but look at this country. Huge city, surrounded by countless towers pointing directly to the sky. Kakashi was a little stunned. There is actually a country higher than the Empire in the ninja world. It's really spectacular, but it's just that the building is taller. Namikaze Minato gave a very objective evaluation. Lulan's architecture is indeed very different from other countries. It is the style that Lan Yu sees as a Chinese-European mixed ninja world, but each building is very tall, and the series connected together is spectacular. At this moment too, the sound of fighting attracted the attention of the 4 people because they sensed spiritual power and good Ryatsu. This Ryatsu is so strange. Everyone was slightly surprised that this level of Ryatsu and spiritual power can only be cultivated by the Empire. Under curiosity, Minato and Kakashi went over, and Hashirama also went to 877 with his class. Far away, a teenager with short blonde hair, dressed in a white combat suit, was fighting with some puppets. The surprising part is, these puppets can fly, it can also fire energy cannons and missiles, and has sharp double-edged blades. Too annoying. The puppet can't be solved for a while, but the blonde boy will be overtaken by the puppet wherever he runs. Spirit Blade. A spiritual blade appeared in his hand, and the blonde boy jumped in the air, moving fast and slashing. Knife slashed. Chakra line cut. A puppet lost control and fell to the ground. Is it a puppet? I can't help it. The blonde boy was smiling, but then he saw a dozen puppets flying over from a distance, and his eyes were almost staring out. What? How many are there? In the next moment, a dozen puppets raised their hands and condensed a purple chakra. Instantly fired like a laser cannon. One of the blonde boys who evaded one after another accidentally fell on an empty bridge. Puff, damn it. The young blonde coughed, and when he looked up again, he saw a dozen more puppets in the air. All were beginning to condense laser cannons. In an instant, the blonde boy's hair exploded and he was about to escape. Boom 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 boom. Suddenly there were explosions in the sky, and the blonde boy was dull as soon as he looked up. This. In the sky, yellow flashes flickered like phantoms, even turning halfway. Each flash has a puppet burst, but a few flashes, all destroyed. Brush. A handsome blonde man fell beside the teenager and said hello. Hello boy, if it is convenient, you can tell me your spiritual power is. Before Minato finished speaking, he watched the boy stand up and exclaimed. Wow, Dad. Why are you here? Oh my god, what does this boy call me? Namikaze Minato stayed there, thinking he had auditory hallucinations. But looking at the blonde boy again, Minato felt an inexplicable sense of intimacy. Not only is the bloodline connected, but also has the imperial medal on the costume. Wow, Minato, you seem to have big eyebrows and big eyes. I didn't expect you to have an affair. Even the B********* D came out. Does Nanako know? Hashirama emerged from nowhere, revealing an 8 trigrams face. Kakashi didn't know when he put on the mask, and looked at Minato with weird eyes, which was also 8 trigrams. Minato's eyes twitched. Madara walked out from behind, hugging her arms and said, Don't look at his age, you idiot. Advertisement, law, right. Hashirama suddenly came forward and patted the sluggish blonde boy on the shoulder and said, Boy, I know that life is stressful now, and I am prone to mental disorders. Illnesses can be treated as soon as possible. The blonde boy exploded and said, What, Lord Hashirama, I am not mentally ill. Hashirama fell in love. Then the blonde boy looked at the class again and said hello. Master Madara, are you back from New World? That Zenlong is looking for you everywhere to invite you to fight. Madara couldn't help frowning. Immediately afterwards, the blonde boy looked at Kakashi again, as if he had seen some treasure, and yelled. Really? Is it true? There is such a small Kakashi-senpai, you are not as tall as me, ha 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 ha. Under Kakashi's black line, the blonde boy laughed and gestured, and was kicked into the air. The blonde boy who stood up again was full of surprise. No, this power. It's a lot different from the strength that beats me before. Are you Kakashi-senpai's son? Kakashi frowned. At this moment, the 4 also discovered something was wrong. Spiritual power, Ryatsu, costumes of soldiers of the Imperial Holy Soldiers, etc. Everyone means that the other party is an empire, AHFG. But they haven't seen it at all. Namikaze Minato looked dazed. What's your name? Hey, Dad, you are too much, you have forgotten my name. The blonde boy shouted, looked at the door suspiciously, and whispered. Dad, did you have an affair? Are you a mermaid? Although they are beautiful, my mother won't agree, so give up. Namikaze Minato took a deep breath and said seriously, Holy Soldier, tell me your name and specific identity. Brush. The blonde boy stood straight, saluting and shouting at Minato. Report Admiral, Same Soldier, 7th Squadron, 9th Squadron, 3rd Battalion, Same Soldier, Namikaze Naruto reports to you. 16 years old this year, Father Namikaze Minato, Mother Uzumaki Nanako, joined the team for 10 years. Fight for the rise of the Empire. The report is complete, please give instructions from the sir. Everyone was stunned. This is really Minato's own thief. Namikaze Minato hadn't recovered for a long time, and it was difficult to understand for a while. This kid, call me Admiral? Is there a position in the future empire? Believe you for the time being, but can you tell me? Looking at the smirking boy, Minato said solemnly, Why have you joined the army for 10 years, is you still just a little saint? This? Cough cough, don't you know? Namikaze Naruto was embarrassed and very helpless. Kakashi immediately comforted, Master Minato, don't be sad, although his talent is a bit short. Having said that, watching Naruto grinning, Kakashi immediately changed his words. Forget it, the tuba is gone, you should practice another trumpet. Naruto's eyes twitched, crying without tears. When Ban came over, Ryatsu pressed towards Naruto and said indifferently, Say, why did you come here? Master Madara, put Ryatsu away, I can't breathe, let me just say. Naruto felt it hard to breathe, and after Madara put it away, he gasped. With everyone watching, Naruto began to talk about how to get here. After a while, the crowd was a little surprised. Naruto is from 10 years later, together with a teammate called Urzuzi, hunt down a careerist Hunredzu, a Sanagakure remnant of the ninja era. Beizu forcibly opened the dragon vein seal left by Minato, and the beam sucked him and Beizu in. Came here after waking up. Dragon vein energy, time and space reversal. Madara couldn't help but marvel at it, this kind of power is so vast. Is my seal so weak? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Minato thought so. Ban interrupted Naruto's words, and then looked at everyone. Even if some things are known, when he leaves, everyone's memories must be erased. Everyone's forehead. I see, Naruto raised his hand and coughed lightly. I suddenly remembered the dragon vein information. According to the Empire's records, the dragon vein may enter the parallel world under certain conditions, at that time. With us, we can't interfere in the future at will. Lan Yu has passed down many ninjutsu into a spiritual power system a few years ago, and Minato has practiced many sealing techniques. Why does the dragon vein, which contains endless chakra, will be retained by your majesty for more than 10 years and has not been destroyed and absorbed? Hashirama suddenly raised his hand and said, No wonder Ban and I followed the black zetsu traces until it disappeared. He probably entered the dragon vein a long time ago, and he doesn't know which time and space he entered. Lan Yu. Wait for it to produce more granaries, Kakashi was thinking. This is the best way. It's okay. Madara frowned slightly, which was very troublesome. Ps. Shippuden Theatrical Edition, The Lost Tower. Go to Longmai and watch. Using his strength to seal the seal will not be broken by a little ninja, right? Chapter 120. The second pillar of the Empire arrives, and the New World Maskman is surprised. Advertisement, boom boom boom. Following the death of Enlushan, the minister of Ji Ming who was disguised by Beizu, Queen Lulan also successfully closed the dragon veins. But then the dragon veins ran away, caused a large area, a range of buildings collapsed. It can't go on like this, you must seal the dragon veins to escape the danger. Seeing this scene, Namikaze Minato took out and handed the spiritual blade filled with seal runes to Naruto. Naruto, go ahead and insert it into the dragon vein. Ahem, good dad, whoops. After taking it, Naruto kept moving through the building, accidentally hit by the broken building debris, and ran over again after falling a kick. Be careful. Minato has a black line. He found out at the beginning, this thing called sun, there is something like that. Reckless, rough-headed, stupid in stupidity, it doesn't match my temperament at all. Namikaze Minato said so, but smiled happily. Although he was a little angry, he was not a fool. Although hippie smiley, but also very contagious. If he really has a son in the future, you don't need to be too strong, you just need to be happy. It just so happened that Naruto was really happy. Swipe. The building collapsed on a large scale, and everyone strayed farther away. Not far away. Madara looked at a girl with her arms folded and asked, can you control the dragon veins? The girl has long dark red hair, looks youthful and beautiful, and her eyes are full of determination and bravery. Queen Lulan, Sarah, dragon vein. The lifeline of the earth. There is a chakra beyond the rest of the earth. If used carelessly, it is very likely to destroy the entire earth. But the Sarah family, with the ability to control dragon veins, this is why their clan can become queens. Yes, it is. The brave Sarah, facing this well-known Shira for a long time, couldn't help being cautious. Hashirama curiously asked, how to control it? Is it like sending people to the past and the future? No, it's not. Sarah shook her head again, and said seriously, I can only control the dragon veins to transmit chakra to the country as an energy source. As for sending people back to the past, this thing is too exaggerated. She didn't know either. Madara and Hashirama looked at each other. It is quite certain that the traces of black zetsu disappeared near here, so it is very likely that it has entered the dragon vein. In any case, you have to try. Dad, I got it done. As Naruto inserted Minato's spiritual blade into the dragon vein and Longan, the surrounding buildings stabilized. Also at this time, another young man in a white battlesuit came quickly. Idiot, Naruto, I finally found you. You are also attracted by that light, idiot Sasuke. Naruto turned around and was pleasantly surprised. His little teammate, the second pillar is here. The young Sasuke flashed over and said, who are you stupid? The tail of the crane. Naruto stared, what a crane tail, I am not Urzuzi disdainfully said. Why is it not? Every time you are behind the task, Tenten causes trouble, otherwise I would have become the captain. Naruto's expression stagnated and then he burst into laughter. It's you? Tenten was beaten by an idiot who was also the captain. It really laughed at me, ha 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 ha. Idiot, I'm fighting with you. Sasuke violently kicked, and the two quickly scrambled together. What black tigers dig their hearts, monkeys steal peaches, one is more ruthless. It's all three abuses. If I see it, I will definitely drive them out of the army. Kakashi held his hand and spoke coldly, also at this time. Naruto said, stop, look at who it is, Kakashi-senpai who is shorter than us. Sasuke was stunned. Why is he so young? Naruto smiled. Don't worry about so much, don't you want to take revenge? He is the one who beats us the most times. Sasuke squinted. So Shao Kahn can't go anywhere, do it. Kakashi, eat me 1,000 years of death. During the words, Naruto and Sasuke went straight to Kakashi. The next moment, there was a sound like a pig, Olala whistling. B**********D, I'm going to kill you. Minato and others twitched their eyelids. Will the children of the future be so skinny? After an hour. Dragon veins and Longan. Sasuke Naruto has a swollen nose and a swollen face, but he smiles comfortably. Kakashi's swollen eyes were full of anger, and his hands kept rubbing somewhere. Minato continued. In order not to cause historical chaos, everyone's memory must be erased. Naruto quickly said, Dad, Minato waved his hand slightly. Everything will be eliminated, and there must be a chance in the future. Let's go back. Immediately, everyone erased the related memories after the encounter. Naruto and Sasuke took a deep breath and turned around to be sucked away by the light beam emitted by the dragon veins. Immediately, Madara also opened her eyes, and a glimmer of light passed. Although the memory is erased, the clues about Black Zetsu cannot be forgotten. Advertisement, Minato, leave it to you. Madara gave Minato the spiritual power and Ryotsu left after the destruction of the Black Zetsu will clone. The Black Zetsu body would never think of it, it is actually very easy to find him. Follow the remaining spiritual power Ryotsu, perceiving it all the way. If it weren't for returning home, it would trigger the Sage of Six Paths incident and occupy the Pure Land, thus retreating to practice. Well, I found Black Zetsu more than 10 years ago. Okay, Let me try. After Minato took it, he felt for a moment. Spirit body clone technique. A clone walked out of Minato and pulled out the spirit blade on the dragon vein without hesitation. Jumped directly into the dragon vein and long eye. Seeing this scene, Sarah worried, it's too messy, the energy of the dragon veins is so strong, it will die. No one answered, they waited quietly. Buzz. The moment Minato entered the dragon veins, he felt a great pulling force. Immediately wrap yourself with spiritual power. Immediately I saw a piece of color around me, and the energy was constantly scouring. Countless lights continued to flicker. I can still vaguely see some fragments that seem to come from their respective time and space, but they're very vague. In that direction, no, it's there. Minato didn't even bother to watch any clips, constantly trying to perceive the direction of Black Zetsu's spiritual power. But because of the energy scouring, even if Black Zetsu came in here, the traces of spiritual power left behind were still washed away everywhere. 0. For flowers. I can only look back and forth one by one. Shortly after, Minato was lucky to see a Uzumaki, where there are the most traces of Black Zetsu spiritual power. The imprint is re-engraved. The Minato clone opened the holy text, leaving a mark on this space node. Holy text ability. Space movement. 1 teleport. Within Ryatsu's sensing range, move instantly as you like. Second mark. Leave a mark on biological or non-biological objects and space nodes, and consume spiritual energy to instantly go to the mark. 3 transfer. Can consume spiritual power, carry biological or non-living creatures for teleportation. I'll take a look. After leaving the mark of the space node, Minato clone entered Uzumaki. 1 step into. It was sucked in by a beam of light and ejected in another unknown world. Boom. Minato's avatar only feels the surrounding scenes are changing rapidly, and the whole person is like a beam of light being blasted by energy in a new world. I do not know how long it has been. Smashed through many buildings before falling to the ground. When the door clone raised his head, he was stunned. The Fourth Ninja World War. A man wearing an orange Uzumaki mask and a robe with a red cloud and black bottom was arrogantly announcing something. Minato, who was suddenly smashed into the venue, was shocked. Why is this so like his teacher? The Fourth Ninja World War. Minato was dumbfounded when he heard these words, and then looked around. A brawny man with white hair and black skin, kind of like Fourth Raikage alternate? Red-brown curly-hair demon burning woman, kind of like Empire Terumi Mei? Little white-haired old man, kind of like the dead third Tsuchikage? It's you. Why are you still alive? No, it's not right, you don't look like. When fourth-generation I saw Minato, his pupils shrank. Immediately I felt that I had admitted the wrong person. Although he has the same blonde hair as fourth Hokage, he is also very handsome. But there are still differences in appearance. Minato took a closer look at the people who looked a bit like the people he had met, but they were a little different. Instantly disappeared in place. At the same time. 17 The masked man stood up, Uzumaki appeared and disappeared. The masked man was silent for a while, and continued. The Fourth Ninja World War, I am here to declare war. The Fourth Ninja World War. Parallel world. Parallel, the world will be a surprise discovery for the Empire. Ban raised his eyes. Yes? See you on the battlefield this afternoon? People who are similar, but have some differences in appearance, don't have an empire. Do you have a parallel world? What? Everyone was surprised. Minato Avatar also saw the constantly assembled army, and even felt the location of Black Zetsu Ryatsu. Madara's eyes flickered, and then said, send the news back to the Empire and look at the instructions from your majesty. In half an hour. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. The main world, where the dragon veins are. The clone didn't do anything, it turned into smoke and disappeared. Minato opened his eyes, and his pupils flashed in surprise. It's amazing, I found Black Zetsu. Chapter 121. All the members are killed in the parallel world, in the Fourth Ninja War. Advertisement Real World City. When Minato sent the news back. The entire Empire's senior leaders were all alarmed. Dragon veins parallel world? The Fourth Ninja War? There are many people who are similar to the main world but have different appearances. For a while, the Empire's elites were shocked and couldn't help but look forward to it. Has the Fourth Ninja World War? Sure enough, the ninja world must be unified. Conan is grateful for his majesty's existence. If there was no invisible empire, the Third Ninja War broke out a few years ago. And now, only the last reunification war is needed to achieve long-term peace. Kushina's eyes sparkled and said, I didn't expect that another world would begin before we started fighting, no. I'm going to the parallel world to promote my reputation as the queen of critical strikes. Because the main body was closed for more than 10 years, the clone rarely went out of the city, causing the ninja world to forget the existence of Kushina. This made her depressed, but now, the opportunity has come. People in the main world are too forgetful, so give people in the parallel world a deep memory. Kakuzu chuckled and said, I originally thought that the Empire would definitely be short of money after it hits the Genin world. After all, building the ninja world is a big project. Now, there's one more world to grab at will, cool. Worthy of being the Deputy Minister of Finance, always consider the economic development of the Empire. The 1.8-meter Sasori, with short red hair, said in a deep voice. The main world cannot be too chaotic, but the parallel world can be used as a training ground. The main world is the home in everyone's heart. how much damage will need to be repaired in the future. As for the parallel world, as long as it does not affect the operation of the main world, even if it is ruined, everyone will not care at all. But anyway, everyone is looking forward to the world in parallel. Just as a warm-up before the main world unification war. Tsunade raised his eyebrows and said, "How are the tasks assigned this time? I can't just rush through them all, have you informed your majesty?" Brush. At this moment, White Zetsu smiled vigorously. "Don't worry, everyone, the intelligence department has also made a major discovery. The lunar passage was found, and the leftover descendants of Otsutsuki Hamura were also found on the moon. Moreover, I have built the Shadow 6-point space and left the clone on the moon, so I can open the space channel to the moon at any time." Wow. Everyone was surprised again. The descendants of Otsutsuki on the moon? Can people live in such a place? Thinking about it this way, how many magical places are there in the ninja world? Pure land, moon, parallel world, will be occupied by the Empire. Senju Nawaki's eyes lit up. Descendants of Otsutsuki must be strong, I'm going to the moon. Ghost Zhao stroked Samahata lightly, grinning. My big sword is already hungry and thirsty. Jiraiya chuckled. Ninja is not fighting and killing, it is human beings, you stay here, the moon and the parallel world will be given to me. With a kick, Jiraiya, Orochimaru calmly said, it just so happens that I lack a lot of experimental subjects, and there must be a lot of strong people in the war. Orochimaru didn't know when he put on gold glasses and a white coat, with an elegant posture. But he said something that made people in the parallel world tremble. If you have the main world to deal with, leave the clone, the parallel world and the moon, if you want to go, go. The calm voice cleared, Lan Yu appeared in the hall, sitting on the throne. If you go to the parallel world, take the sacred troops other than recruits and suppress all ninjas. Yes, your majesty, everyone said respectfully. For more than 10 years, except for their respective training and battles, they have basically never tried their best. Parallel world, there is no need to have any scruples. Lan Yu said. Let's form a team freely, I will also check it out then. Everyone was a little surprised, and then suddenly. Your majesty has been in retreat for so many years. It's time to go to activities. I just don't know if there is a strong man in the parallel world that can arouse your majesty's interest. If there is a parallel world, there may be a second. Lan Yu thought so, even if there is only one now. One may be born again in the future. So, maybe you can witness the splendor of each history personally, so you can completely let go of the random interference of hands and feet and do it wantonly. After a while, Hashirama, Madara, and Kakashi beside the Dragon Veins all go to the parallel world. Minato, who came back to spread the news, plus Izuna, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Kakuzu, White Zetsu, Tsunade, Mikoto, Kushina, Terumi Mei, Konan. A total of 14 elites with a few teams of sage soldiers went to the parallel world. The remaining Nawaki, Sasori, Gujou, Yahiko, Nagato, Hitaki Tsukumo. Advertisement 5 elites led the team to the moon. The action of the Empire's large forces immediately alarmed the spies disguised as tourists from various countries in the city. For a time, they were nervous. Guru, where are they going? Hey, no, which country are you going to invade? Idiot, you. It is obvious that all the staff are assembled, which country can bear it? Quick. Send the news back soon, all the spies panicked. I don't feel much at ordinary times, but when I saw the elites and sage soldiers passing by, I realized how far other countries are from the Empire. Holy Army, it's not comparable in more than 10 years. In terms of numbers, the Empire did not add many people under deliberate control, but it also reached 10,000. 10 brigades, 100 squadrons, 1,000 squadrons. In terms of quality, except for those newly added in recent years, the combat power of the previous saints has reached that of Special Jonin. There are also some cage-level captains, such as Kakashi. The ninjas couldn't feel the specific strength of the holy soldiers. But the moment when the sage troops bloom, it will be a nightmare in the ninja world. Kaguya. After watching everyone set off, Lan Yu sat in the hall with a weird expression. Because I didn't think about it, I didn't directly bring her back from ancient times. This led to Kei Yoruichi personally in a different space, immersed himself in training for thousands of years. God knows what has become, but I really look forward to. There are two sides to everything, Lan Yu thought of the good side. Bring it back directly, it still takes a lot of time to learn. In the blink of an eye, thousands of years have passed, Kaguya must have thoroughly eaten all the ninjutsu taught by Lan Yu. Same thing. No one in the ninja world knows what is chakra and what is ninjutsu better than Kaguya. Kaguya, who is out of the customs, is invincible. If Kaguya encounters the Otsutsuki clan who can only make random moves, it will definitely be crushed. After all, even if you change a pig to cultivate for thousands of years, you will be refined. Kaguya. If the concubine body is a rabbit, it is not a pig. No, the concubine body is not a rabbit. No, the concubine body ignores you. Lan Yu did not go to Kaguya, continue to feel the power of time and space. Anyway, the set time point will come soon, after the time and space are broken, Kaguya will go out by himself. Parallel world. The track is basically the same as the original. But the black zetsu body of the main world entered the Dragon Vein more than 10 years ago. There are some nuances, because in the eyes of black zetsu, the Kaguya of the parallel world is not the Kaguya of the main world at all, so there is no need to plan in the parallel world. Black zetsu chooses one. Only plan Rinnegan. Option 2. Kill parallel black zetsu to replace it, wait for 6 paths to show Madara and tell him the truth about the world, and let him come to the class owner's world to turn on infinite Tsukuyomi. Option 3. Watch the play, wait for Kaguya to appear, tell the main world to exist in the past, take Kaguya to liberate the main world Kaguya. Black Zetsu thought for a while and chose the second one. However, the main world Black Zetsu overturned. He, who has been partially killed by Madara, is not the opponent of parallel Black Zetsu at all. After being possessed by spirit, although the main world Black Zetsu did not die, he became a stubborn little brother, paralleling Black Zetsu's second consciousness. Now, in a base, parallel Black Zetsu. Gia, don't worry, after I rescue my mother, I will take my mother to the Lord's world to save Kaguya. Go away, don't think I don't know what you are thinking, don't you just want Kaguya to devour my mother, don't even think about it. The main world Black Zetsu was extremely angry, he has had enough of 5.6 these years. Control 6 Jinchuriki, make a new pen 6 paths, and fight Naruto. The size of the ghetto statue has changed, as a backup for the resurrection of 10 tails. The tail grew, the eyes shed blood, and there was a terrible cry. Now that the plan is entering the final stage, the main black silk burst out all the will, temporarily took over the body, and roared. Then, the plan can begin. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Pity. Obito is not here. Obito, come out, I expose myself. Original. I am not the will of Uchiha Madara, I am the will of the ancestor of Chakra. Lin was killed by Madara's design, and the infinite Tsukuyomi plan is fake. Obito's eyes lit up. Chakra with only 8 tails and 9 tails parts can also revive 10 tails. After the war, Obito took the part of the 9 tails chakra from the Golden Horn and Silver Horn brothers who were reborn from the soil, just in case. The protagonist's law of immortality is, Obito can only use part of the 9 tails chakra and 8 tails to swallow the ghetto statue. Roar. Immediately afterwards. Chapter 122. The arrogant Sasuke, Mikoto was a slap in the face. Advertisement parallel world. The 4 wars opened vigorously. A coalition of ninjas composed of 5 great nations plus iron nations. vs. Akatsuki's army of white Zetsu plus Free Chengtu reincarnation army. The ninja coalition army is about 80,000, and the white Zetsu army is 100,000. Kill the tragic battlefields on all sides, but compared with the other 2 battlefields, the rest is just a little trouble. One place. Shangtuban, fight the 5 shadows, another place. Obito has just resurrected 10 tails and is preparing to implement the final plan. Kakashi, Naruto and others stop it, Naruto's side keeps exploding, and Hitaki is well deserved. Fight with Obito and enter a different space, when one of the Kakuyo class dances. Obito is also in a stalemate here, at the same time. Another place. Sasuke resurrected Orochimaru. Orochimaru obtained the Shinigami mask of the Uzumaki clan storage hall, released the soul swallowed by Shinigami, and restored his hands. Then he used the 4 white Zetsu clones in Sasuke's body as living sacrifices to resurrect the Hokage of the past dynasties in the form of reincarnation. Barabara. Hokage of the past generations began to evade Sasuke. It tells the life of Itachi, the history of the family, the process of Konoha's founding, and so on. After knowing everything, after thinking, Sasuke came to the decision to protect Konoha. Lan Yu. All this is okay. Obviously 1 second ago, I wished to kill everyone in Konoha, the villain template of Standard 07. But several Hokages took turns to flee, and Sasuke couldn't hold it anymore. Mouth escape is worthy of being the strongest escape technique in the ninja world. Sasuke is also the second pillar, and it can be found in a few words. Sasuke. Obito is so right, I want Konoha to feel pain. 2 pillars. Master Hokage is too right, I want to protect Konoha. Papa, suddenly, there was a round of applause. Make everyone present frown. Wonderful, really wonderful, I'm so passionate about it, I can't wait to throw my blood on Konoha. Looking sideways at the shadows of the past, a handsome figure came not far away, with a slightly mocking voice. Without waiting for everyone's reaction, the Comer looked at the second pillar. You little devil, your will is not firm anymore. I clearly felt the anger in your heart, and it dissipated in a blink of an eye. Sad and ridiculous. At the end of the day, the visitor looked down on Urzuzi, a bear kid with a twitchy brain. Impossible. Why are you still alive? Suddenly, the soil-moving Senju Tobirama exclaimed and looked at the visitor in disbelief. No, you are not him. Tu Hashirama was also in a daze, and murmured, Izuna. The visitor and Izuna in my memory suddenly looked like. But it's not very similar, Izuna is dead long ago, you killed it. Uchiha Izuna looked at Senju Tobirama coldly. I thought that after my brother killed Tobirama's soul, he would never have a chance to see this mortal enemy again. But the parallel world is right, no matter what he looks like, as long as he is called Senju Tobirama, he is damned. Uchiha Sasuke was quite upset at the moment, looking at Izuna proudly and disdainfully. Who are you? What is sad and ridiculous, do you want to die? What a joke, could you please open your eyes and look at my eternal Mangekyo? Do you know what invincible is? You deserve to look down on me too? Next moment, there was a sharp pain in the abdomen. Sasuke's eyes almost stick out, and the whole person flies out. Is it so weak? I just kicked it casually. It was not Izuna who shot, but the black long straight beauty, Miss Makoto. As soon as she came out, she saw an extremely arrogant bear kid yelling. Too annoying. Kick it, so awkward. Conan strained his mouth behind him, trying not to make himself laugh. The two pillars looked like they were dangling and blasting into the sky. Conan thought how powerful it was. As a result, Conan almost laughed. It's really lively. Which one do you think is suitable for experimentation? Osha, Master Maru, they are all suitable, especially the pale-faced guy. One big and one small figure arrived. It was Orochimaru, Dean of the Academy of Sciences, and Yakushi Kabuto that he took away when he sneaked into Konoha to search for materials the year before last. 2 years ago, the 6-year-old Kabuto had already learned some medical ninjutsu from the Dean. When he healed Konoha Shinobi, he ran into Orochimaru who had sneaked in. Take away. After 2 years in the Empire, Orochimaru became more satisfied with the original decision. This little assistant has a really good talent. This time, I also brought it here. Okay you, my name is Namikaze Minato. Another figure arrived, and Minato from the main world greeted Minato Daddy. Do not, before the dirty soil Hashirama and others recovered, a figure came again. And accompanied by a burst of laughter, advertisement. Is it Senju Hashirama? What a coincidence, I am also called Senju Hashirama, but you are not as handsome as me, ha 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 ha. Everyone in the Empire has a black line. Isn't this big guy usually a follower of Madara Sr., how come here? Enough. Sasuke, who came back again, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and looked at the Empire coldly. I don't care who you are, don't get in the way here, just get out of here. Everyone frowned. Have to say, Sasuke of this period is the most arrogant and arrogant period. There is no so-called charisma, no smart brain, and no firm belief. It's just an Erlenzi. Having said that, Sasuke gritted his teeth and looked at Makoto, with bloodshot eyes. Especially you, when I attacked me carelessly, I killed a lot of women like you, die. Sasuke's killing intent broke out instantly, in his eyes, the kick just now made him so embarrassed that he couldn't accept the arrogant one. The main thing, Makoto looks a bit like his relatives. Instantly touched countless inner pain, making him murderous. It's just a pirated version, looking for death, kill me? Makoto was shocked, then smiled gently and said cold words. So arrogant, arrogant, arrogant and ignorant at such a young age, keeping it is also a curse. Do not, Sasuke immediately drew his sword and slashed towards Makoto quickly. Ridiculous speed. But Sasuke's proud speed is no different from a snail in Makoto's eyes. Under the unbelievable gazes of Shigego and Suizuki, this gentle and beautiful woman slowly raised her palm. The moment Sasuke approached and was about to swing the knife. Snapped. The voice resounded everywhere. Makoto slapped it in the air and slapped Sasuke's face with a spiritual palm. Bang bang bang. A series of crashing sounds sounded. Sasuke smashed more than a dozen buildings into the ruins like a stream of light. Sad ant. Makoto calmly put down his hands, eyes cold. Guru, Shigeo and Shuei trembled and subconsciously retreated into the distance. Really, that can be tough. Sasuke of Eight Tails Jinchuriki? She was swept away by this woman like a fly, meow. A few teeth fell to the ground, Shigeo and Shuei were even more frightened. #BE. Sasuke's teeth. Wood-style the tree world is coming? After returning to Hashirama, he felt unabashed hostility, killing intent, and strength from everyone in the Empire. In an instant, Wood-style began to erupt. What shocked the second soil Hashirama, Tobirama and others. On the opposite side, there is a man who resembles the soil shifter Hashirama somewhat. Wood-style the world of flowers and trees is coming. Boom. The earth is shaking and the mountains are shaking, and countless towering giant trees appear out of thin air, rising from the ground. In a blink of an eye, the trees made by Hashirama formed a vast forest. Retreat. The people on both sides retreated 887. Boom boom boom. Can be the next moment. The forest that erupted from the flower tree realm of Hashirama of the Empire is even more terrifying, and there is no end in sight. The new forest was devastated and destroyed the forest in front of it, and flowers bloomed. You leave here immediately. Shang-Tu Hashirama yelled, looking straight ahead with a solemn expression. Strong enemy. An unprecedented strong enemy, ha 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 ha, I haven't played with Senju Hashirama yet, it's really interesting. Senju Hashirama stood on a tree and smiled happily at the thought of something. Go to another squad. You have beaten that squad. If I beat you, I have beaten another ball. So even if Madara beats another ball, as long as I solve the opponent faster than him, it is proof. I am better than class. Soil Hashirama. This guy is silly and looks like me. Kananbi's Kakuyo Sarutobi. Hey, kid, are you serious? The cover of the forest caused everyone to scatter, looking at their opponents one after another. Just here, destroy you. Under Suizuki and Shigego's wide-eyed eyes, Yakushi Kabuto waved his small hand like a general and gave a low drink. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Little Kabuto Kabuto's Shigeo, Suigetsu. Although Yakushi Kabuto is small, he is not afraid at all. He straightened his body and made a small face. Hashiramab's Mewtwo Hashirama. Orochimaru's. I am the only pure-blooded Quincy in the Empire whose body hasn't grown up, but it doesn't mean that I am weak. Certainly, Izunav's Kakuyo Tobirama, come out, my army. Makoto's two pillars, For a while, Shigego's inner irritability was also stimulated by Yakushi Kabuto. Monadov Soil Monato. Wei Dang Shui Yu carried the decapitation knife that was interrupted by Raikage, showing sharp teeth, and staring at the 8-year-old Yakushi Kabuto. Chapter 123. Orochimaru, Your Majesty, I'm in love, to Orochima. Advertisement, under my army of zombies, fear it. As the 8-year-old Yakushi Kabuto waved his hand, the nailing ring on his hand shimmered. Next moment, 1, 2, 10, 20, in a blink of an eye. More than 30 people with different images and wearing different ninja costumes surrounded Shigego Suigetsu. Among these people, all were like dead bodies, with dark eyes and numb expressions, like puppets. Guru, fake. Wei Dang Shuei's eyes widened, and the hands holding the broken beheading knife began to tremble. Shigeo can't help but feel terrified. It's not just Yakushi Kabuto who waved and appeared with so many ninjas. The main thing, it can be seen from the ninja costumes of these people. There are Konoha, Sand Shinobi, Rock Shinobi and other Jonin costumes. At first glance, it was almost all Jonin, dozens of Jonin? How to play this? Is this scared? There are some small toys borrowed by Uncle White Zetsu. 8-year-old bear kid Yakushi Kabuto, wave again. Come out, my little baby. Wow. Under the shocking eyes of the two, a large group of people emerged from nowhere. Densely packed, no less than 1,000 people at a glance. Everyone was pale, staring at the two of them, making their scalp numb. White Zetsu. Bear boy, I'm using it for you to experiment. Who asked you to pretend to be forced? The ring made by your majesty is perfect. Little Kabuto is still young after all, only 8 years old. Seeing the dull look of the two, he couldn't help but squinted. Nailing ring. It is the kind given to Kakuzu after Lan Yu once produced it. Because of the characteristics of the spiritual subspace. Both living and dead objects can be packed inside, all kilometers in length, width and height. It was difficult to make one. But for the current Lan Yu, his strength has greatly increased, coupled with his space-time ability, he can do a lot at will. One member of the Holy Legion. Those who performed well in the sacred troops also had the reward of nailing ring, the ability to cultivate spiritual power. That. Ghost Dang Shuei couldn't help raising her hand, her face full of embarrassment. I was wrong, I shouldn't underestimate you, can you let us go? Yakushi Kabuto has a small face. No, kill them. Yakushi Kabuto waved, all the zombies rushed to the past, and all of them expanded their moves. Holy text ability. Dead, zombies. Zombie. When Kabuto is actively attacking himself or passively being attacked and injured and bleeding, any object contaminated with his blood will become a corpse and be controlled by him. And objects that turn into zombies can still use their abilities and moves during their lifetime. And Kabuto itself will not die and has a strong regenerative ability. 1. The stronger the target, the more blood is needed. 2. Only by turning zombies into ashes or anti-controlling zombies can the control of immunity be lifted. Alternative version. Reincarnation. The Fourth Ninja World War. Should my Jonin zombie army break through 100, right? Yakushi Kabuto thought so. He only needs to be above Jonin level. Or zombies with special abilities. It's troublesome to fight in person, but it's cool to be behind the scenes. All those who are manipulated are saved and formed into an army. Chang Tu reincarnated? No, that's not right. In the distance, Orochimaru and the Empire Orochimaru were fighting, and they had a glimpse of Yakushi Kabuto. Parallel Orochimaru. Who are you guys anyway? Interesting, really interesting. There was a strange light in Orochimaru's eyes, as if he had seen a new continent. As the top scientist of the Empire, ordinary people, he can tell at a glance whether it is a man or a woman. But, this time Orochimaru's eyes are clumsy. Orochimaru. Excuse me for not being able to see through, parallel Maruko is male or female. Fantasy creation Ling's a luck. At the next moment, Orochimaru raised his hand and burst into a terrifying spiritual power. Directly in the air, I imagine creating a dense chain of spirits on the parallel Orochimaru. Block him up without leaving any gaps. Wanted not to use any big snake flow body replacement technique to escape. You and I are not in the same dimension. Orochimaru walked towards the parallel Orochimaru, watching the other party unwillingly still want to break free, and continued. Ling's chain, the soul is locked. If you don't want to die, you'd better stop. Soul. Parallel Orochimaru pupils shrink. The body trembles as soon as I hear the word soul. Sarutobi just sealed the soul of his hands, which made him feel painful for several years. Unforgettable in this life. A-hole, what are you doing? The next moment, parallel Orochimaru was angry. I saw Orochimaru's hand. Passed through the Ling's chain easily, then, touched him all over. Parallel world Orochimaru shivered in anger, although he doesn't care about his body, who wants to be touched like this? Still groping, I can't stop it. Immediately afterwards, Orochimaru licked his mouth, showing strange excitement. It's really unbelievable, parallel world me, unexpectedly. It turned out to be a woman. Exactly. The soul of the other party was contaminated with the breath of a woman, and was transforming into chaos. If you intervene, the other party will become a woman from the inside out. Orochimaru was stunned. At the same time, I am even more excited. Advertisement Orochimaru. The beauty of the world is like a cloud, because no woman can understand me. But, this big snake sister is different. Yes, count the total ninja world, count the pure land, count the parallel world. Orochimaru was excited, and grabbed the hand of Orochimaru's sister. Only you know me best, no one knows me better than you, little girl. Orochi. Who am I? Where am I? In the end what happened? Little girl. What a joke, although I don't care if my body is male or female, but I. Quack. I hate it. Puff. Not far away, Namikaze Minato, who was fighting Minato, glanced over here. A mouthful of old blood almost came out. What happened? Is this your illusion? Namikaze Minato rubbed his eyes and broke out Ryatsu's rejection of the so-called illusion. But looking at Orochimaru again, Minato still felt his scalp numb. Is this why Orochimaru has always been single? Fall in love with me? Orochimaru him. In the distance, Sarutobi, who had been suppressed by Konan in 2 rounds, glanced down on the ground, also inwardly. Die. Konan did not hesitate, Sarutobi's soul was smashed with a single knife. At this time, I just looked over. Orochimaru looked affectionately and held Oshaji's hand tightly, there was nothing else in his eyes. Wow, my goodness, there is so much love. Konan's thinking is different from Minato's, or that women and men think differently. Senior Orochimaru is so brave. Maybe, you have too many questions, don't ask, you are the one who asks. Orochimaru spoke very seriously, he didn't want to kill Orochi. After all, top scientists are alone, it is an honor to meet myself in another world. This is not a clone, Orochimaru feels that the whole world has become extremely beautiful, the sun is shining brightly. Certainly, if it is a male, kill it directly, swallow and fuse. But this big snake girl is too perfect. He will definitely be able to collide with him, no, and she will spark the ultimate spark. You seem to have misunderstood something. Big Snake G snorted coldly. Although she changed a lot of women's bodies for immortality and she felt pretty good. But, well, no but, a woman's body is good, you vulgar men don't understand at all. Orochimaru continued to earnestly said, join the empire and be my one, I will ask your majesty to live forever for you. Immortal? Snake G's expression condensed, her face turned cold. I don't like people joking with me, however, I promised. Although Ochiji can't believe it, but the same philosophy as Orochimaru. Whenever possible, she will try. Even a person who can switch between men and women at will, how can he let go of any opportunities? The point is, I really can't beat it, you promised? Orochimaru was overjoyed, and his eyes were full of longing. With you, we will definitely be able to create our own children, the most perfect children. Snake G's heart was shocked. Kid? In fact, after becoming the Orochiji, her heart often overflowed with maternal love. Bo-Ren biography period. Ochiji treats one of the artificial humans she has made as her own child. Always secretly, looking at it for months. Zuo Liangna asked, is Oshiji your father or mother? Yue answered, I don't think it matters at all. That time, Ochiji was secretly watching from a distance, her eyes full of maternal love. Quick, get up, it's cold on the ground, don't catch a cold. Orochimaru immediately unlocked Orochima's spirit lock. Follow me, Qian Jiao, it's too chaotic here, it won't be good if it hurts you, let's go to the small forest to talk. Orochimaru left the battlefield wearing Orochima. At the same time, far away, puff, damn it. After being slapped twice, Sasuke felt that his body was about to shatter, coughing up blood. Damn woman. Sasuke stood up tremblingly. Eternal Mangekyo is bloodshot, and his heart is extremely angry. He was nearly slapped to death by a woman, how could he accept it? Everyone has the right to pursue their own happiness. The only thing the piano loves is your majesty. Your fire is only worth candles, tiger. This kind of fire, seeing Orochimaru and Osakiheim leaving, I couldn't help but sigh. Mikoto didn't respond to Sasuke. Next moment, Mikoto raised his hand slightly, elegant and beautiful. Senior Orochimaru is so brave, she should also pursue her own happiness. P.S. Thank you. 181 ******* 208 monthly ticket, Sumero, for rewards. Go to hell. Amaterasu, Inferno-style flame control. Sasuke's face is extremely hideous, and the pupils of his eyes burst out. The sky was dark and the rocket was overwhelmingly headed towards Mikoto. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Double pupil surgery broke out. Amaterasu, who burned everything but never killed anyone, was manipulated into an arrow by flame control. Chapter 124. At this moment, the 5 shadows are all dumbfounded. Do you deserve to dance too? Advertisement. The so-called Amaterasu, as the name suggests, naive portrayal. Amaterasu, also known as the fire of light, the flame of the virgin, because it has never killed a person. Cough. Anyway, it doesn't work for Mikoto, enforced. When Amaterasu and flame control's arrows strike, the Mikoto holy text is activated directly. The moment the arrow enters the field of Mikoto's external nerve, directly control its shape and movement trajectory. Next moment, Black Rocket suddenly changed direction, disconnected from Sasuke's pupil technique and went straight to him. How can it be? Sasuke looked surprised, but the arrow flew too fast, so he didn't have extra moments to think about it. Damn it, you forced me. Sasuke's face was fierce, and the blood and tears of his eyes turned red. That trick, it consumes too much for him, completely, Susanoo. Chakra flames erupted, and the surrounding earth was fragmented, and in a blink of an eye, a huge purple bead condensed. It abruptly shook out the black arrow. This is enough to shock the world's Suzuo. Unfortunately, there are no audiences. It didn't make any waves in Mikoto's eyes. That's why you are so arrogant. Ignorance, Mikoto spoke flatly. Want to say proud? No one in ninja world is more proud than Uchiha Madara. But the pride of the two is not a level. An arrogant person is full of heroism, grandeur and naturalness. Another, it is Erlang who is ignorant and arrogant everywhere. See, are you there? This is my Uchiha invincible power. Overlooking the ant like Mikoto below, Sasuke became even more arrogant, his eyes full of arrogance and disdain. These humble ants, I don't understand the power of Uchi Wave 890 at all. Quickly, he will kill this woman, and then rush to the battlefield to sweep all enemies. Uchiha Madara, don't make waves when you are outdated and immortal. Next is my time. Feel the despair, I will. Poof. Sasuke, who was talking arrogantly, suddenly saw a scene that he couldn't believe, and suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood. Immediately afterwards, Sasuke roared. Impossible, I don't believe it, it's fake, get rid of the damn illusion. See only below. Mikoto's pupils suddenly turned red, forming an eternal light in a blink of an eye. Spiritual power flames, soaring into the sky, boom. The earth roared endlessly, it's much bigger than Sasuke's opening Suzuo. Fake, all fake. Under Sasuke's eyes split, resented and unbelievable. The golden complete body Susa, which is larger and nearly twice as large as his Susuo, descended into the world like an ancient god. Wings spread out, holding two swords, the moment when Mikoto's complete body Suzuo appeared. Hiss. Hashirama and others who were fighting in the distance stopped their hands and looked at them. The golden light of the whole body is too dazzling. In contrast, Sasuke's Suzuo is like a small toy that can be picked up and squeezed. Mikoto's Sasuke is so beautiful. Konan blinked his big bright eyes, staring at the golden Suzuo, admiring him. Unexpectedly, even stronger than Madara's, Shengtu Hashirama looked more solemn, and each of these people was more unreasonable. Puff cough cough. Who are you? Sasuke, who was severely injured by 2 slaps, coughed up blood with anger, AHFG, and asked questions. He clearly remembered, except for that Uchiha Madara, there is only one Uchiha in this world. Mikoto's eternal Mangekyo, and this complete body Sasuke. While making Sasuke angry and jealous, it also gave birth to new hope. Since one popped up suddenly, will there be more? Die. Mikoto didn't bother to talk nonsense with Sasuke. Controlling Suisao, he stepped on the purple Suisao like a child. Mikoto's psychic power level is quasi-6 pads level. In other words, the Suzuo of the spiritual power system does not have a fixed size, it all depends on the consumption. As long as the spiritual power is sufficient and maintained, Suzuo will be no problem a few dozen times larger. Not good. Seeing golden Suzuo stepped on him, Sasuke felt a mountain range coming across. But just when he was about to avoid, buzz! A majestic Ryatsu swept down from Mikoto, causing him to stagnate and his soul aches. Boom! An extremely tragic scene. Konan never stopped covering his eyes with his hands. Just like an adult, trampling down on a child mercilessly, the scene is horrifying. Sasuke's Suzu was crushed directly. This kick stomped all the pride of Sasuke. This kick, all of Sasuke's hopes were destroyed. Boom! At the moment when Sasuke collapsed and couldn't sustain Sasuke and dissipated, Mikoto stepped on it again. Advertisement, there was a huge roar. Sasuke was trampled down, and the surrounding ground was cracked and dust-filled. Who is it? Suddenly, Mikoto frowned and stared around. After retracting the foot, looked down. In the ruined pit, Sasuke disappeared. Was rescued? This makes Mikoto extremely vigilant. Mikoto disbanded the entire body Suzuo. Beautiful eyes looked around sharply, constantly letting go of Ryatsu's perception. Konan walked over, frowning slightly. I didn't notice it either, but I saw it. The moment I stepped on that kid, he disappeared. Mikoto pondered for a while, guessing. The only thing that can save people from our eyes is the 6 pads level, or those with special spatial abilities. Having said that, Mikoto and Konan looked at each other and spoke at the same time. Sage of 6 paths. Now, in a space belonging to the net, the parallel world of Sage of 6 paths has a solemn expression. There is also a dying boy covered in blood below. It is Sasuke. Our guests from alien planets, 10 Tails also appeared, troublesome. I'm here to give you a hangout, kid, at the same time. Although the incomplete 10 Tails appeared, Obito was still fighting Kakashi in a different space. Kakashi solemnly said, Obito, your old will is still walking with me. What I can do now is to protect Naruto. It's just a waste of talking and not doing it, Obito snorted. He needs to use Kakashi to remove the spell left by his heart at work. And far away, several people in Quincy's suits were walking along leisurely. Another battlefield, where the Kakuo class dances. But the atmosphere is a little weird at the moment. Shengtu Madara said indifferently with her arms folded, do you want to dance too? Why do you deserve to dance too? When Uchiha Madara said this, he didn't even have to look at the other person. One is more proud than the other. Not far away, Wying stared. Tsunade, 4th generation I, Onoki, Terumi Mei, and Gaara are also in love. Can anyone tell us, in the end what happened? They had been fighting with Shengtuban before, thought, and suddenly a man with the same unruly hairstyle appeared. kicked Madara off the ground with one kick. Then the two danced together. No, after a few rounds of dancing, they began to face each other indifferently. There are more poems than one, in addition to some differences in appearance between the two. Similar temperament. The hairstyle is similar. The tone and action are similar. Is he Uchiha Izuna? Looking at Uchiha Madara, parallel Tsunade thought so. People similar to Madara, it can only be a brother, right? It seems that you were very leisurely. Do you need me to relax your muscles and bones? Suddenly, a playful female voice sounded, which suddenly made Onoki and others vigilant. Brush. When the four figures fell within a few people's distance in an instant, they were stunned again. What is this? Imitating the convention, parallel Terumi Mei's eyes widened. Staring fiercely at the seductive, charming woman in a white battlesuit ahead. There is another person who is basically similar except for some differences in appearance. No, it's fun isn't it? Parallel Tsunade frowned, staring at the big breast in front of him. Cow. Nuo Da's ninja world, it's enough to have a big cow like me. No need for a second big cow. Samui. No, me, and me. What do you look at? You are not as beautiful as I am, and not as big as I am. Tsunade snorted and looked up proudly. Don't say anything else. It is said that her long blonde hair at the moment is much longer than that of the parallel Tsunade. Your Majesty likes girls with fluttering hair. Yes, why do you always look at others? Are you jealous? Terumi Mei is becoming more and more like a fairy who speaks charmingly in the city. Parallel Terumi Mei's eyelids jump. If my old lady has this charm. Married a long time ago, right? You are in the same group? Fourth generation I looked at Ban, then at Tsunade and Terumi Mei, and said in a deep voice. Onoki and Gaara have a heavy heart. Boom. Even Chengtu Madara didn't say that they were rubbish, just said something. Forgot. Tsunade flipped over by Kugan. They're all the same type of combat uniforms, you can tell if you are blind. You four rubbish go together. Next moment, this woman is too arrogant. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Bored to imitate others to play on the battlefield? Blow you guys. Presumptuous, don't waste time, you, and you, lest I bully others. P.S. Thank you for the support of the Evil Emperor's monthly pass. Parallel Tsunade denies. Absolutely. No, in an instant, several people with parallel hands were suddenly angry. Fourth generation I clenched his fists. Tsunade, make sure again, is she your sister or younger sister? Who are they? Before fourth generation I could do it, Tsunade clenched his fist and rushed over. Tsunade points to the four of parallel Tsunade, parallel I, Onogi, and Gaara. Chapter 125. Tsunade shocks the audience. Madara raises his hand. A dozen planetary devastation. Advertisement, weird power punch. Tsunade rushed towards him, causing waves of air to be rippled between his fists. This moment, fourth generation I blows up his hair. A very powerful and fatal crisis cleansed his whole body, making him escape without thinking about it. At this moment, the holy text, power, burst, boom. The majestic power came out. Fourth generation I only felt the roar of his eardrums, and a force enough to tear him pass by. Tear. Even if he passed by, the vigor caused by that power directly shook him into the air. I flew out in an instant. The body tore open the atmosphere like a streamer and smashed into the distant desert. Not good. The shockwave from Tsunade's fist not only shook I, but also hit Gaara behind him. The grand shockwave shocked Gaara's heart, and the scope was too big. Sand shield. Gaara, who was difficult to avoid, burst into chakra in an instant. Absolute defense. Layers of sand appeared on his body instantly, and his defense was far stronger than steel. Boom. In the next moment, the sand shield burst instantly. That terrible force that could not be defended destroyed all of Gaara's defenses and blasted him out fiercely. This, power. Not far away, third Tsuchikage Onoki was dignified. Look from him. Tsunade's punch not only flew two shadows, but also caused a devastating blow to the front. Ah! There was a burst of screams. The ninjas in the rear were submerged and shredded by the shockwave, sweeping for more than 1,000 meters. This horrible scene make everyone's mind burst. It hurts my feet. Although Tsunade is extremely powerful, Kage is definitely not the one to be slaughtered. After Tsunade slammed a punch, parallel Tsunade jumped up and rushed to the sky above Tsunade, raising his foot and launching a powerful force. This is a strange force-type attack that can cause the earth to fall apart as long as one foot is on the ground. It's been 4 wars, you are almost 60 years old, you really don't have any strength. Facing the kick that hit, Tsunade turned around, clenched his fist, and raised his head. It disappoints me. Boom. The atmosphere burst instantly, and the majestic shockwave soared into the sky and violently collided with Tongtianjiao. Tear. There was a tearing sound. The blood mist swayed. Under the horrified eyes of others, the parallel Tsunade that jumped in the air was directly shattered into half of his body, and the sky was full of blood. The other half of the body was swept away by the airwave. Master Hokage. Impossible, how could this be? Ah, killed a woman. One by one, Konoha Shinobi's eyes turned red and heart-piercing. This scene, it also made the sky of many people collapse. Damn it, woman, don't be too presumptuous. In the blink of an eye, the 3 shadows were either blown up or torn apart, and Oyemu, who was almost 80 years old, roared. Dust Tongue Primary Realm Stripping Technique. The overbearing blood broke out after the elimination, and Onoki, who flew into the sky, blasted a huge white square directly toward Tsunade. There is no scum, he wants to decompose this woman, and it disappears completely. Almost forgot you, the three of us were difficult to resist. Seeing Onogi, Tsunade instantly recalled the scene of the battle with him after joining the Empire. At that time, Sanin had nothing to do with Naki at all, and had to die. And now, Tsunade is not before, Chichichichi. In an instant, Tsunade's fist was condensed with super high compression spiritual power. I didn't mean to avoid it at all, choose hard anti-dust escape. After all, Shentong is just a tyrannical energy attack. Break it for me. Tsunade pushed out the extremely compressed spiritual power suddenly, forming a huge spiritual fist. Boom. The spiritual power fist and Shentong violently collided, and something unbelievable happened to Onoki. The dust that touches anything is enough to completely decompose. Was brazenly shattered by the spiritual power fist. The two energies burst apart and rushed in all directions. Onoki immediately strengthened various Earth Pass defenses, and was still washed upside down. All ninjas can only wait and see from a distance, dumbfounded. Especially Hōgyoku ninja was unbelievable, the scene just now felt like a dream. Can dust be hard to resist? The strength is good? Madara, who was in the distance, held her arms, and was full of pride when she saw the faint opening behind this scene. Grid, not as good as me. Heard this sentence. The corner of Uchiha Madara's eyes twitched, with a strange expression. I used to say this a lot before, and I felt very compelling and refreshed. But now, pretending to come to me? As a result, Uchiha Madara dismissed it with a smile. The ridiculous arrogance, now you, even if you are in full body, it is difficult to defend against her fists. Advertisement. Shang Tuban's eyes condensed, full of killing intent. It's the guy in front of you. That frantic and unruly hairstyle filled him with upset. Nuo Da's ninja world, only he is worthy of such a haircut, others are not worthy. You counterfeit, don't talk big words here, this is the end of the boring game. Kokuo Madara spoke indifferently, and was about to seal the seal. Uchiha Madara said flatly, only an idiot can seal. You. Great, dirty soil. Madara was eaten, her body exuding a strong arrogance. Witness the true power. Chakra and pupil power explode. In an instant, the surrounding air pressure increased drastically, making many people feel extremely depressed. Uchiha Madara raised her eyes slightly, her eyes were inexplicable. It's your first time using Tengai Shinsei. Dirty Madara's pupils shrink slightly. How did he know the name of this trick, and he knew it was the first time he used it. Uchiha Madara continued, although this move is enough to shock the ninja world, it is only enough to clear the field. It's better to use this. Next moment, Tuban gasped for the first time. I saw the dark pupils of the man on the opposite side burst into eternal scarlet light for an instant, and then the ripples swayed away, forming a lavender demon color. Rinnegan. Kakuo Madara's expression sank. Is there something wrong with Obito's plan and Rinnegan was snatched away? When I make moves, I don't like being disturbed. Immediately, Uchiha Madara used a stronger pupil power, breaking the connection between Kakuo Madara and the meteorite in an instant. You fellow, Kakuo Madara's expression condensed when he felt the pupil power collapse. 0. Look for flowers, he didn't expect that Tengai Shinsei would still be able to interrupt. Wow. Uchiha Madara raised his right hand. Black matter kept popping up in the right hand, and a huge black ball appeared. Whoosh whoosh. In Changtu Madara held his breath. That huge black ball kept splitting, formed into small black balls, blasting towards the sky of the entire battlefield. In a blink of an eye, more than a dozen black balls are distributed in the battlefield sky. At this moment, everyone felt a stronger sense of oppression. Seeing this scene, Ymue Madara couldn't help frowning. Planetary devastation. Uchiha Madara's spiritual power bursts. Boom. From the sky, the landslides in the ground are not enough to describe, and the whole battlefield is shattered. What is this? The ninjas were uncontrollably familiar with each other, and tried their best to break free. More than a dozen forceful gravitational waves turned into a giant swallowing beast, greedily devouring everything below. Good means. The Kakuo class is very dignified. 0. Unleash more than a dozen planetary devastation gravitational nuclei at a time, even he can't do it. Get out of here. The parallel Terumi Mei not far away also felt a strong pulling force, and chakra broke out to resist. The opposite Terumi Mei held her curly hair lightly, and said lazily, it's not that I look down on you, but you can't make it because of your small body. Small. Where am I? Parallel Terumi Mei glared fiercely, and when she saw the unobstructed opponent, her eyes suddenly lit up. Run directly towards Terumi Mei, come on to me? Terumi Mei chuckled, eyes flashing with inexplicable light, and when the other party approached, she said a word. Actually, I'm also supporting it, but since you came over, it's easy. Lingza space. In an instant, the two women disappeared. This trick is really powerful, just clear the field. On the other side, Tsunade saw the shadows who stood up again to resist gravity. Oyemu released the limit stripping technique and tried his best to destroy the gravitational core above him. Seeing this scene, the fourth generation Eye broke out in lightning-style chakra mode, and Gaara swept the yellow sand all over the sky and ran towards Onogi one after another. 100 healings mark solution. More than a dozen black cores cover the entire battlefield. Ninja art. Meiotic regeneration Baihao technique. The game of cat chasing mouse ends here. Summoning writing. Run. Keep running. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Success. Izuna looked indifferent, holding Zanpakuto's right hand and flipping it. The bandits turned around and drank coldly. You fellow, do you really think I'm afraid of you? Isn't it? I slashed and hurt my soul and ran away. Let alone rescue the ninjas who are involved in gravity. But it is very difficult for the 5 filmmakers to protect themselves. At this moment, Izuna's indifferent voice came. The protagonists who have not exploded are here, and they will be completely wiped out. Seeing the destruction of the world ahead, the moving bandits clenched their fists in anger. There is a tiger at the front and an angry lion at the back. With only half of his body left, Tsunade was resurrected after a series of operations.